Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We're going to be doing some more building today. The Lumibricks Cottage. I forgot what it was called. Anyway, we are about midway through, I think. It's looking pretty good. It's very detailed inside so far. There's some, I don't know if that's even visible. It seems like it's not. Probably have to wait till I take better pictures after I'm done. But it's pretty fun. I'm enjoying it. All right. Let's start our radio program. I think we left off on episode 49, but I'm not sure. So we will check and see. Suspense.
This is the man in black, here again to introduce Columbia's program, Suspense. From Hollywood, we bring you a star, Mr. Orson Welles, who this evening begins a 4-week engagement.
Okay, yeah, I think this is it.
In the interest of prime suspense, Mr. Welles and the producer of this series have scheduled 4 radio stories which they feel are particularly distinguished in our chosen field. The first of these is The Most Dangerous Game by Richard Garnell. And so with the performance of Orson Welles in the character of General Zaroff and Keenan Wynn as Sanger Rainsford, who learned from Zaroff what was the most dangerous game, we again hope to keep you in suspense.
Turns out it was man, I assume.
Much time. Any moment now he may come in, and when he does, I'm going to kill him. It's him or me, and I'm going to do my best to make it him. Or maybe it sounds crazy to you. I guess it does. Would have sounded crazy to me a few days ago when I was with Whitney on the yacht. I was on a pleasure trip. A pleasure trip. How could I or anyone realize then the horror and torment I was to go through? How was I to know of Yvonne? And the death swamp, and the hounds.
Death swamp.
Zaroff. Think of it. It was only 4 nights ago that the ship went down. We'd been talking about this island, Ship Trap Island, Whitney said it was called in the charts. He was sleepy and started on down below to turn in. I was mixing myself a nightcap when I looked up and saw it. A tremendous reef racing at us out of the fog. I screamed out a warning, but it was too late. We were right upon it. The ship exploded right on top of Whitney and members of the crew. I alone was standing safe out on the prow, but the force of the explosion hurled me into the blood-warm waters. Terrified at the suddenness and surprise, my stomach weak and sick at the thought of the others. The sea was eddying furiously around the sinking remnants of the ship. And a certain cool-headedness came to me and made me swim desperately away, or I might not have lived to go through the horror which was soon to come. I struck out to the right in the direction of the island about which Whitney had been telling me. I had no recollection of how long I swam, but all at once I heard the muttering and growling of the sea breaking on the rocky shore. With my remaining strength, I dragged myself from the swirling waters. All in, gasping, my hands raw, I at last reached a flat place at the top. I flung myself down at the jungle edge and tumbled headlong into the deepest sleep of my life. When I awoke, I was in a strange place, having no idea how I had done it.
Well, Yvonne, our friend seems to be awakening.
Where is this? Where am I?
Do not be alarmed, my friend. My man Yvonne found you out on the cliff. He brought you here to be taken care of.
Well, thank God there's life on this island. I hardly believed.
Few people do. Yes, you are quite safe here
That's
in my
not right.
castle, Mr.
Rainsford.
Yes.
Rainsford. I'm Sanger Rainsford of New York.
Rainsford? Sanger Rainsford?
Yes.
Well, it is indeed a very great pleasure and honor to welcome you, Mr. Sanger Rainsford. You're the celebrated hunter, are you not?
Yes. You know me?
By reputation only. I've read your book about hunting snow leopards in Tibet, you see. My name is General Zaroff. I am not English, Mr. Rainsford, but I went to a good school. Perhaps you recognize the colors of my tie. No, it makes no difference. I've lived too long in the jungle to be a snob.
Well,
Well,
I can't tell you how happy I am to meet you, General.
and I can't tell you how happy I am to meet you, Mr. Rainsford. But come, we shouldn't be chatting here. We can talk later. You must be hungry.
Yes, I am rather. What?
Ivan thought you'd like a robe. He's drying your clothes for you.
Oh, thank you.
Ivan's an incredibly strong fellow, but you mustn't mind his looks. His ears were cut off in battle, and he has the misfortune to be deaf and dumb. He is sensitive about his appearance. A simple fellow, really, but I'm afraid a bit savage.
Oh?
He's been in our family for years. Follow Ivan, if you please, Mr. Rainsford. I was about to have my luncheon just before you awoke. You can have it together now. Does the robe fit you all right?
Oh, yes, perfectly, thanks.
I'm so glad.
You have quite a collection of heads here. Lions, tigers, elephants, moose, bears. Oh, I don't believe I've ever seen a more perfect specimen.
They are nice. I take great pride in them.
You have good cause.
Coming from you, Mr. Rainsford, that is a great compliment. And here we are. You sit over there.
Thank you.
Not at all. Right, Ivan? We do our best to preserve the amenities of civilization here. Please forgive my any lapses.
Oh, of course.
Yes. Well off the beaten track, you know. Shoo-shoo. 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 This is my little pet, Mr. Rainsford. As a hunting falcon, Shoo-shoo is of no further usefulness in the field. But I'm fond of its company. Am I not, little sweetheart? Patience, my darling. I know you're hungry, my dear. We hunt tonight.
Your heads are really remarkable, General. That Cape buffalo is the largest I've ever seen.
Yes, that fellow. He's a monster.
Did he charge you?
Hurled me against a tree, fractured my skull, left me this scar. And I got the brute.
I've always thought the Cape buffalo is the most dangerous of all game.
No, you're wrong. Wrong, sir. The Cape buffalo is not the most dangerous game. Ivan, the wine.
How does he understand you?
He reads my lips. Think you like this champagne, Mr. Rainsford? Ivan chills it expertly. No, the Cape buffalo is not the most dangerous game. Here in my preserve on this island, I hunt more dangerous game.
Oh, is there big game on this island?
The biggest.
Oh, really?
Oh, it isn't here naturally, of course. I have to stock the island.
What have you imported, General? Jaguars?
Jaguars. I hope you like filet mignon, Mr. Rainsford.
I do very much, thank you. Is it jaguars, General?
No. Hunting jaguars ceased to interest me some years ago. I exhausted their possibilities, you see. No thrill left in jaguars, you understand? No real danger. I live for danger, Mr. Rainsford. We will have some capital hunting, you and I shall be most glad to have your company.
Yes, but
I'll
what
tell
game?
you'll be amused, I know. I think you may say in all modesty that I've done a rare thing. Yes, I've invented a new sensation. May I pour you another glass of champagne, Mr. Rainsford?
Thank you, General.
God makes some men poets. Some he makes kings, some beggars. Me, he made a hunter. My hand was made for the trigger. My father once said that. Made for the trigger. My whole life has been one prolonged hunt. I've hunted every kind of game in every land. It'd be impossible for me to tell you how many animals I've killed. Grizzlies in your Rockies, crocodiles in the Ganges, rhinoceroses in East Africa. This is in Africa, by the way. That Cape buffalo hit me and laid me up for 6 months. As soon as I recovered, I started for the Amazon to hunt jaguars, for I'd heard they were unusually cunning. They weren't.
They
They
weren't.
were no match at all for a hunter with his wits about him. The high-powered rifle. I was bitterly disappointed. I was lying in my tent.
Maybe
with a
don't use a
splitting
rifle.
headache one night. A terrible thought pushed its way into my head. Hunting was beginning to bore me. And hunting, remember, had been my life. I've heard that in America, businessmen often go to pieces when they give up the business that's been their life.
Yes, that's so.
I had no wish to go to pieces. I must do something. Now, mine is an analytical mind, Mr. Rainsford. Doubtless, that is why I enjoy the problems of the chase.
Oh, no doubt,
So
General.
I asked myself why the hunt no longer fascinated me. You are much younger than I am, Mr. Rainsford, and have not hunted as much, but you perhaps can guess the answer.
Well, what is it?
Simply this. Hunting had ceased to be what you call a sporting proposition. It had become too easy. I always got my quarry. Always. There's no greater bore than perfection. Cigarette?
No, thank you.
No animal had a chance with me anymore. Not a chance. That is no boast. It is a mathematical certainty. The animal had nothing but his legs and his instinct. Instinct is no match for reason. When I thought of this, it was a tragic moment for me, I can tell you. It came to me as an inspiration. What I must do.
And that was?
I had to invent a new animal to hunt.
New animal? Oh, you're joking.
Not at all. I never joke about hunting. I needed a new animal. I found one. So I bought this island, built this castle, and here I do my hunting. The island's perfect for my purposes. There are jungles with a maze of trails in them, hills, swamps.
Yes, but the animal, General Zorro.
It supplies me with the most exciting hunting in the world. No other hunting compares with it, for an instant. Every day I hunt. I never grow bored now, for I have a quarry with which I can match my wits.
Yes, but you still
I
haven't...
wanted the ideal animal to hunt, so I said, what are the attributes of an ideal quarry? And the answer was, of course, it must have courage, cunning, and above all, it must be able to reason.
Well, no animal
My
can
dear
reason.
fellow, there is one that can.
One? But you can't mean...
And why not?
Well, I can't believe you're serious, General Zaroff. You're just joking.
Joking? I'm quite serious. Speaking about hunting.
Hunting? You're speaking about murder.
Oh, dear me, that unpleasant word. I think I can show you that your scruples are quite ill-founded.
Yes?
I hunt the scum of the earth. Sailors from tramp ships, lascars, Japs, mongrels, a thoroughbred horse, a hound is worth more than a score of them.
But these are men.
Precisely, that is why I use them. It gives me pleasure.
Pleasure.
Reason after a fashion, so they are dangerous.
But where do you get them?
We visit my training school. It is in the cellar. I have about a dozen pupils down there now. They're from the Spanish bark San Lucar that had the bad luck to go with the rocks up there. A very inferior lot, I regret to say. Poor specimens, more accustomed to the deck than to the jungle. Have a glass?
No.
It's a game, you see. It's a sort of game. I suggest to one of them that we go hunting. I give him a supply of food and an excellent hunting knife. I give him 3 hours start. I am to follow, armed only with a pistol of the smallest caliber and range. If my quarry eludes me for 3 whole days, he wins the game. If I find him, he loses.
Suppose he refuses to be hunted.
Oh, I give him his choice, of course. He need not play that game if he does not wish to. If he does not wish to hunt, I turn him over to Ivan. Ivan once had the honor of serving as official knouter to my old king, and he has his own ideas of sport. Invariably, Mr. Rainsford, invariably they choose the hunt.
And if they win?
To date, I have not lost. I do not wish you to think me a braggart, Mr. Rainsford. Many of them afford only the most elementary sort of problem, I assure you. Occasionally I strike a tartar. Shoo remembers the tartar, don't you, darling? Yes, he almost did win. I eventually had to use the hounds. You see? Wait a moment, I'll open the window. Hello, boys! This is a rather good lot, I think. They're let out at 7 every night. If anyone should try to get into my castle or out of it, something extremely regrettable would occur to them. But enough of this. Come, I want to show you a collection of heads I'm quite sure you've never seen before. Join me in the library for coffee.
I hope that you will excuse me tonight, General. I'm really not feeling well at all.
Indeed. I know what it is. My old complaint. Ennui, boredom. You need some excitement. Tonight we'll hunt. Hey, Mr. Rainsford. You and I.
You're wrong, General. I won't hunt. I won't murder.
As you wish, my friend. The choice rests entirely with you. But may I not venture to suggest that you will find my idea of sport more diverting than Ivan's?
You...
My dear fellow.
You don't mean that you plan to hunt me?
My dear fellow.
My dear fellow.
Have I not told you? I always mean what I say about hunting. This is really an inspiration. I drink to a foeman worthy of my steel at last.
I simply can't believe it. This must be some sort of dream.
You'll find the game worth playing, Mr. Rainsford. Think of it, your brain against mine, your woodcraft against mine, your strength, your stamina against mine. Outdoor chess. And the stake is not without value, eh?
And if I win?
I'll cheerfully acknowledge myself defeated if I do not find you by midnight of the 3rd day. My sloop will place you on the mainland near a town. Or you can trust me. I give you my word as a gentleman and a sportsman. Of course, you in turn must agree to say nothing of your visit here.
I will agree to nothing of the kind.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, in that case... But why discuss that now? 3 days hence, we can discuss it over a bottle of Veuve Clicquot, unless... Well, your choice, Mr. Rainsford.
I'm a hunter. You know my choice.
Yvonne here will supply you with hunting clothes, food, and knife. I suggest you wear moccasins. They leave a poorer trail. I suggest, too, that you avoid the big swamp in the southeast corner of the island. We call it Death Swamp. There's quicksand there. Well, I must beg you to excuse me now. We always take our siesta after our lunch. Don't we, Shoo-Shoo?
Shoo-shoo.
Come, my little pet. You'll hardly have time for a nap, I fear, Mr. Rainsford. You'll want to start, of course. I shall not follow till dusk. Hunting at night is so much more exciting than by day, don't you think? Well, au revoir, Mr. Rainsford. Au revoir.
I'd fought my way through the bush for 2 hours, repeating to myself over and over again, I must keep my nerve, I must keep my nerve. My whole idea at first was to put distance between myself and General Zaroff. And to this end, I had plunged along through the thicket, spurred on by the sharp growls of something very much like panic. Now I had got a grip on myself. I'd stopped. I was taking stock of the situation. I saw that straight flight was futile. Inevitably, it would bring me face to face with the sea. Well, I'll give him a trail, I muttered. And I struck off from the rude path I had been following and into the trackless wilderness. I made a series of intricate loops. I doubled back on my trail again and again, recalling all the lore of the fox hunt, all the dodges of the fox. Night found me exhausted, my hands and face lashed by the branches on a thickly wooded ridge. My need for rest was imperative, and I thought, I played the fox, now I must play the cat of the fable. A big tree with a thick trunk and outspread branches was nearby, and taking care not to leave the slightest mark, I climbed up and stretched out on one of the broad limbs. Rest brought me new confidence and almost a feeling of security. Even so expert a hunter as General Zaroff cannot face me here, I assured myself. An apprehensive night crawled slowly by, my mind keenly alert for any sound, any warning. Towards the dawn, an instinct I never knew existed, like an animal must possess, impelled me to look far off in the distance in a westerly direction. Sure enough, following the trail with the sureness of a bloodhound came General Zaroff. Nothing escaped those searching black eyes. No crushed blade of grass, no bent twig, no mark, no matter how fine in the moss. My heart pounding furiously, I slid down quickly from the tree and struck off again into the woods. I knew I had to do something desperate. I knew that I had little time in which to do it. 300 yards from my hiding place, I stopped where a huge dead tree leaned precariously on a smaller living one. Throwing off my sack of food, I took my knife from its sheath and began to work with all my energy. The job was finished at last. And I threw myself down behind a fallen log 300 feet away. I did not have to wait long.
Patience. Patience, my darling. You'll be fed. Rainsford. Rainsford.
Got him.
Rainsford?
What?
If you are within sound of my voice, as I suppose you are, let me congratulate you. Not many men know how to make a Malay man-catcher. Luckily for me, I too have hunted in Malacca. You are proving interesting, Mr. Rainsford. Very interesting. The tree brushed my shoulders. I jumped back. I'm going to have the wound rest. It's only slight. I shall be back, Mr. Rainsford. I shall be back.
It was flight now, a desperate, hopeless flight that carried me on for hours. I don't know where I got the strength. I kept telling myself over and over again that I must keep my nerve. That I was competing with a monster, a super huntsman. Dusk came, then darkness, and still I managed to press on. The ground grew softer under my moccasins. The vegetation grew ranker, denser. Insects bit at me savagely. Suddenly, as I stepped forward, my foot sank into the ooze. I tried to wrench it back, but the muck sucked viciously at my foot like a giant leech. With a violent effort, I tore my foot loose. I knew where I was then. Death swamp and its quicksand. The softness of the earth had given me an idea. I stepped back from the quicksand a dozen feet or so and began to dig. When the pit was above my shoulders, I climbed out and from some hard saplings cut stakes and sharpened them to fine points. These stakes I planted in the bottom of the pit with the points sticking upwards. As fast as I could, I wove a rough carpet of weeds and branches and with it covered the mouth of the pit. And wet with sweat and aching with tiredness, I crouched behind the stump of a lightning-charmed tree. Oh, I knew Zaroff was coming. I could hear the paddling sound of his feet on the soft earth. Zaroff was coming and coming fast. He was not feeling his way along foot by foot. Crouching there, I could neither see him nor see the pit. I lived a year and a minute, frozen, every muscle tensed.
Rainsford. Very good. You've done well. Your Burmese tiger pit has claimed one of my finest towns. Again you score. I think, Mr. Rainsford, I'll see what you can do against my whole pack. I'm going back to get them now.
Sounds fair.
Thank you for a most amusing evening.
At daybreak, lying near the swamp, I was awakened by a sound that made me know I had new things to learn about fear. It was a distant sound, knew it. It was the baying of a pack of hounds. I could do one of two things. I could stay where I was and wait. That was suicide. I could flee. That was postponing the inevitable. I had put my very last hope into that tiger pit. For a moment, I stood there thinking. All at once, an idea that held a wild chance came to me, and tightening my belt, I headed away from the swamp. The baying of the hounds drew nearer. They would be on me any minute now. My mind worked frantically. I thought of a native trick I had learned in Uganda. I caught hold of a springy young sapling and to it fastened my hunting knife with the blade pointing down the trail. With a bit of wild grapevine, I tied back the sapling. Then I ran for my life. I raised their terrifying voices as they heard them and felt the fresh scent. I knew then how an animal at bay feels. At last I had to stop to get my breath. The baying of the hounds stopped just as suddenly. And with it, my heart stopped too. They must have reached the knife. Excitedly, I shinnied up a tree and looked back. My pursuers had stopped all right. But the hope that had been in my brain when I climbed died. For in the shallow valley, I saw that General Zaroff was still on his feet. But Ivan was not. Apparently, he had come along to hold the hounds. The knife, driven by the recoil of the springing tree, had splintered through his chest. I'd hardly tumbled to the ground when the pack took up the cry again. Nerve, 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 I panted as I dashed along. A blue gap showed between the trees dead ahead. The hounds were almost on top of me. I forced myself on towards that gap. I reached it. It was the shore of the sea. Across a cove, I could see the gloomy gray stone of the castle. 20 feet below me, the sea rumbled and hissed. I hesitated. I heard the hounds. Then I leaped far out into the sea. The sea was good to me. And I'm here safe in the General's bedroom waiting for him. 3 days are up, and I've eluded him. But now I must go further. In a moment, we will meet, he and I, and he will be unarmed. Only one of us is going to live. You understand that now?
Quiet, Shushu. Shushu! You must be patient, dear. You must forgive me. You're hungry, I know. Shushu. Rainsford.
General.
Rainsford. How on earth did you get it?
Swam. I found it easier and quicker than walking through the jungle.
I congratulate you. Extraordinary. You've won the game.
Oh, no, General. I'm still a beast at bay, here. Get ready, General Zaroff.
Swords?
Yes, 2 of them.
I see. Oh, very good. Very good, Rainsford. One of us, then, is to furnish a repast for the hounds. The other will sleep in this very excellent bed. Huh. Excellent. On guard, Rainsford.
It was just as my late host said it would be. A very excellent bed.
And so closes The Most Dangerous Game by Richard Connell, starring Orson Welles. Tonight's tale of suspense. Mr. Wells was General Zaroff, and Keenan Wynn, Rainsford. This is your narrator, the man in black, who conveys to you Columbia's invitation to spend this half hour in suspense next week, same time, when Orson Welles will again be our star in Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's story, The Lost Special. The producer of Suspense is William Spear, who tonight also directed the broadcast, and who, with Bernard Herrmann, the conductor, Lucien Morawick, who composed the original score, and Private Jacques Anson Fink, the radio author, collaborated on tonight's Suspense.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
That last one was pretty good. I enjoyed that.
Suspense.
Oh, new narrator?
For you men and women in the armed forces of the United Nations, we present one of America's top spine tinglers. A radio rebroadcast of a program dedicated to the mysterious, the unusual, and sometimes the supernatural. A program of suspense.
The producer of Suspense asks you to almost believe that the following is true. Very well. Standing beside me, surrounded by two guards, is a man who in a few short hours is to be put to death in the electric chair. His last request to the warden was that he be allowed to speak on this program and reveal what he calls some startling information. The warden naturally turned to us, and we at once complied, anxious at all times to do anything, however strange, that will hold our listeners in suspense. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm speaking correctly?
Yes, right here, sir.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this broadcast will never be completed. I'm going to tell you a story. The story involves a number of famous and influential people here as well as abroad. These people have received warning from me, and I am sure all of them are making it a point to listen to me now. I shall not name these great, these rich, these influential gentlemen until my story is over. They will recognize the story, they will remember me, they will take the necessary steps for my reprieve. I shall expect a full pardon and safe conduct to a neutral country. These are my terms. I shall expect word of this to be brought to this studio during this broadcast. But as I have warned you, this broadcast will never be finished. You will never hear those names. It is certain my price will be paid. I am presently under sentence of death for my activities in the matter of refueling German submarines in the Caribbean. My full confession has been reproduced in the popular press. You have read it and you know the details. It is the least ingenious of my exploits and my first failure. So much for it. The story I shall tell you tonight occurred many years ago, but concerns, as I have said, many now living. It will interest you, I hope. I know it will interest them. Very well, then. On the 3rd of June, 1925, in Liverpool, a man who gave his name as Monsieur Louis Caratel asked to see Mr. James Bland, the superintendent of the London and West Coast Railway. He was a small man, this Caratel, middle-aged, darkened, with a stoop so pronounced that it suggested some deformity of the spine. He was accompanied by a friend, a man of imposing physique, who from his swarthy complexion was probably either a Spaniard or a South American. It turned out later that his name was Gomez. One peculiarity was observed in him. He carried in his left hand, fastened to his wrist by a strap, a small leather dispatch case. No importance was attached to this fact at the time, but later events endowed it with much significance. Monsieur Caratel was shown to Mr. Bland's office while his companion remained outside.
How do you do, monsieur? My name is Louis Caratel. Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
I have just arrived from Central America this afternoon. It is extremely urgent that I reach Paris without a moment's delay.
Paris, eh? That's too bad. You just missed the London Express.
I am not interested in the London Express. Could you provide me with a special train?
Yes, I think that could be arranged.
Oh?
It's quite an expensive proposition.
Money is of a small importance, monsieur. Time is everything. If you can arrange a special for me in a hurry, you may make your own terms.
There you go. Mr. Hood, will you step over here a moment, please?
Yes, Mr. Bland.
Mr. Hood, here's our traffic manager, Mr. Carritel.
Mr. Carritel.
Hood, I want you to arrange a special for him. He's going to Paris. How's the line? Can you fix him up in a hurry?
Why, yes, I believe so, Mr. Bland. The line is clear through Manchester, and engine 247 at the Rochdale is on the tracks now. It could be ready, say, in 15 minutes.
Good. Who's available for the trip?
Engineer Smith, sir. And I can put James McPherson on as conductor.
Well, there you are, Mr. Carritel. Simple as that. Attend to everything right away, will you, Hood?
Yes, sir.
These men, Monsieur Smith and,
McPherson?
McPherson, are they trustworthy?
Oh, yes. Of course. McPherson's been with the company for years, and I'm sure Smith, although new, is an expert engineer.
Bien. Thank you, monsieur. I am deeply indebted. You have been most considerate.
At 4:31 exactly by the station clock, the special train with Carretel and Gomez steamed out of the Liverpool station. The line at that time was clear and there should have been no stoppage between Manchester. At 6:15, considerable surprise and some consternation was caused among the officials at Liverpool by the receipt of a wire from Manchester to say that the special had not yet arrived. An inquiry directed at once to St. Helens, which is a third of the way between the two cities, elicited the following reply.
To James Bland, Superintendent, Liverpool. Special passed here at 4:52. Well up to time. Dowser, St. Helens.
The wire was received at 6:40. At 6:50, a second message was received from Manchester.
No sign of special as advised by you.
And then, 10 minutes later, a third, more bewildering.
Presume some mistake is proposed running of special. Local train from St. Helens, time to follow it, has just arrived and has seen nothing of it. Kindly wire advices. Manchester.
The matter was assuming a most amazing aspect. Although in some respects the last telegram was a relief to the authorities at Liverpool. If an accident had occurred to the special, it seemed hardly possible that the local train could have passed down the same line without observing it. And yet, what was the alternative? Where could the train be? A telegram was dispatched to each of the stations between St. Helens and Manchester, and the superintendent and his traffic manager waited in the utmost suspense at the instrument for the series of replies. The answers came back in the order of questions, which was the order of the stations, beginning at St. Helens.
Special passed here, 5 o'clock. Collins Green.
Special passed here, 5:06. Earlstown. Special passed here, 5:10. Newton. Special passed here, 5:20. Kenyon Junction.
No special train has passed here. Barton Moss.
Hood, this is unique in my 30 years of experience.
I can't understand it, Mr. Bland. The special has gone wrong between Kenyon Junction and Barton Moss.
And yet there's no siding between the two stations. Special must have run off the rails, jumped the track.
But how could the 450 Parliamentary pass over the same line without seeing it?
There's no alternative, Hood. Absolutely must be so. Possibly the local may have observed something which may throw some light on the matter. We'll wire to Manchester for more information, and to Kenyon Junction with instructions that the line be examined intently as far as Barton Moss.
The answer from Manchester came within a few minutes.
No news of missing special. Driver and guard of local train positive no accident between Kenyon Junction and Barton Moss. Line quite clear and no sign of anything unusual. Manchester.
This is lunacy, Hood. Does a train vanish into thin air in England in broad daylight? The thing's preposterous. An engine, a tender, car, 5 human beings, and all lost on a straight line of railway. It's impossible.
A month elapsed, during which both the police and the company prosecuted their inquiries without the slightest success. Mr. Bland, at the end of this period, offered his resignation. It was accepted. The affair remained unsolved. A reward was offered and a pardon promised in case of crime, but they were both unclaimed. Every day the public opened their papers with the conviction that so grotesque a mystery would at last be solved, but week after week passed by, and a solution remained as far off as ever. Then a new and most unexpected incident occurred. This was nothing less than the receipt by Mrs. McPherson of a letter from her husband, James McPherson, who had been conductor of the missing train. The letter, which was dated July 5, 1925, was posted from Mozambique, Portuguese East Africa, and came to hand upon the July 14th.
My dear wife, I've been thinking a great deal, and I find it very hard to give you up. I try to fight against it, but it will always come back to me. I send you some money, which will change into 20 English pounds. This should be enough to bring you here. Things are very difficult with me at present, and I'm not very happy, finding it so hard to give you up. So no more at present. From your loving husband, James McPherson.
For a time, it was confidently anticipated that the letter would lead to the clearing up of the whole incident. As directed, Mrs. McPherson sailed to Portuguese East Africa. She stayed in Mozambique for some time, but heard nothing from the missing man. Finally, she returned to Liverpool, and so the matter stood. And has continued to stand right up to the present moment. Incredible as it may seem, nothing has transpired during those 18 years which has shed the least light upon the extraordinary disappearance of the special train which contained Monsieur Cottage and his companion, Mr. Gomez. And McPherson, the conductor, Smith, the engineer, the fireman named Slater. And now, after all this time, I shall clear up the entire affair. And unless I hear from those so highly respectable gentlemen who were my employers and who are completely implicated in the crime, unless I hear from them before I'm finished, their names will be revealed on this broadcast. Take final warning, gentlemen. You know I mean what I say. If you are smart, you are at this moment arranging my reprieve. I must remind you, time is short. You have just 6 minutes. Now, for the interest of my other listeners, I shall resume the story of the lost special. In a word, there was a famous trial in Paris in the year 1925, perhaps you recall it, in connection with a monstrous scandal in politics and finance. How monstrous that scandal was can never be known except by such confidential agents as myself. At stake were the honor and careers of many of the chief men of Europe and the United States. A secret committee was formed to manage the business. Some subscribed to the committee who hardly understood what were its objects, but others understood very well. They can rely upon it that I have not forgotten their names. Do you think I could forget your names, gentlemen? You pillars of the community, great, rich, respected, honorable men. Do you remember that day in May 1925? The fashionable country club, remember? And the golf game that was played there that spring morning? Ladies and gentlemen, that was the strangest golf game ever played in the history of the world.
Rat, look at that drive. I've been playing badly all morning.
You topped it, Senator. Perhaps you're a little nervous.
I beg your pardon?
May I join your game?
Well, I'm not sure.
Not sure of what? Of me? Promise you, gentlemen, you can be very sure of me. I'm the man you're supposed to meet. The distinguished congressman here can vouch for me.
Yeah, he's the one, all right.
Yes.
This is Delerniak. Mr. Delerniak, may I present
My name is not really Delerniak, gentleman, but I am sure that bothers you no less than it does me. Besides, there is no need for introductions. I know everyone present by sight and by reputation. My drive, I believe. Thank you. Not so good. 200 and, about 50 yards. I hope I'm not going to continue in this way.
You're sure we can talk safely here, Frank? How do we know
Please
that...
set your mind at ease. We shan't be overheard in the middle of a golf course. There is no convenient hiding place here for dictaphones, even in the rough, where I notice notice you're playing the greater part of your game, Senator. You must be nervous this morning.
I know, but I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Well, it's not the superlative course you are accustomed to on your own enormous California estate, sir, but it's going to have to serve our particular purpose. Oh, by the way, let me compliment you on the way you have had your syndicate of newspapers handle the recent strike situation and the editorial which appeared under your own signature this morning. Yes, well calculated to stir up trouble with the labor.
Let's get on with our business.
Yes, Mr. Delenyak.
At your service, sir. And may I suggest we continue our game? I know the absence of caddies is an inconvenience.
Mr. Delenyak.
Certainly.
In June, a month from now in Paris, there will be a most important trial.
Ah, yes.
During its progress...
pardon me, are you referring to the Serinsky trial?
Yes. You know about it, then?
Well, certain interesting details. I know something about it. It's my business, after all, to keep myself informed about these matters. It is not for nothing that I am known as the most...
Let me continue, please.
Provocateur.
This trial, I'm speaking in the utmost confidence, you understand. This trial could, if certain evidence were introduced, could have a very serious effect upon the prestige and standing of some most important men.
I'm sure
in fact, it could even...
You're shivering, Senator. You find it cold out here?
No. Get on with it, Frank. Get to the point. For heaven's sake, please.
The evidence which one man could bring to the trial could ruin these men. Without it, the trial will collapse for want of facts. But if this one man arrives in Paris,
Quite evidently, you do not wish him to arrive in Paris.
No.
Gentlemen, you have come to the man. This sounds indeed like the sort of thing which no one in the world can manage with such skill and success as myself. I must admit, however, that my services come rather high.
Well,
it's only natural, since there is only
the
one.
money makes no difference. We have formed a group, a committee, and we have the command of an unlimited amount of money. Absolutely unlimited, you
We
hear?
will name people and places now. Who is the gentleman whose appearance in Paris would cause such regrettable embarrassment?
His name is Caratal, Louis Caratal. He knows everything. He has papers, documents, all
I
the
understand.
evidence.
Where is this Monsieur Caratel at
Well,
present?
he's sailing from somewhere in Central America within the next few days. That much we know.
Good. Central America. I have an excellent man down there in Central America. This Caratel, you know anything about him personally, his personal habits?
No, very little. He's a small man, dark. He has a bodyguard, a great big bruiser named Lopez.
Let me
Gomez
see,
or
from
something
Central America, that would be the Americano Tropicano.
No, but those are my
Their,
ships. You
trips all commence at Liverpool, I believe. That's where the ships dock, and our famous trial is to begin in 3 weeks. That would mean that Monsieur Caratel would go directly to London, and I imagine that once there he would be...
This little bookcase display case is very cool.
Not without connections in the British capital.
That's good, clean
See,
thinking.
this is not so simple as some of my other exploits. A simple assassination. There's your ball, sir. You're playing a Dunlop 38, aren't you?
Oh, yes, to be sure, yes.
Quite. As I said, a simple assassination, the usual clumsy job will not do here. The documents might, after all, be found. The bodyguard might survive somehow, and then we have accomplished nothing, that's all.
Yes.
Are you going to play?
Yes, of course.
Topped it again, I'm afraid. Shall we proceed? I already have 3 plans in my head, gentlemen. I have a plan for nailing him at the Central American port from which he embarks. I have a plan for his disposal aboard the ship. But in each of these cases, I, Delenyak, will be unable to be present, so there is the chance of failure. I will think of a 3rd plan, gentlemen. I shall sail immediately to Liverpool. On my way there, sitting on the deck in the May sunshine, I shall conceive my 3rd plan. It must be something special. Something very special. There I am. Is this your famous water hazard? Well, I think a number 7 iron will do it. And thus I undertook to bring about the complete destruction of Monsieur Caratelli's bodyguard companion Gomez and his documents. Plan 1 was already out the window, as I found out the next day.
Belerniak, White Sulphur Springs, Virginia. Baby Lou, unable sleep last few nights, have sent him to visit Aunt Henriette. Will rejoin him on 21st. Love, Jenny.
This telegram from Matagalpa conveyed to me the information that Caratel, possibly sensing danger, had moved from his hotel and gone to stay with friends until his ship sailed. So it was impossible to carry out the idea of the fire in the hotel. His ship leaving on the 21st was the Henriette. On my 4th day at sea, I heard from her.
To Larnac, Barrancaria. Ship-to-ship communication from Henriette Tropicana Line. Presented Grace your box of chocolates. Louise has given up candy for Lent. Grace still wants us all together for 29th birthday party. Will be really special. Ralph.
This meant that poison had been given to Gomez, the bodyguard, in an effort to get him at least out of the way. He had been unable to succumb to it. He'd thrown off the effects, and is evidenced by the report that we would all be together on the 29th. Now, Caratel had refused to eat the food containing the poison. So much for Plan 2, which was not worthy of me anyway, since there was always the possibility of the bodies being found in the ocean. The man Gomez was carrying the documents in a dispatch case strapped to his wrist, and I must tell you something now. I was glad, mind you, that we had failed so far, for the plan I had conceived on the night I arrived in Liverpool was so magnificent, so absolutely unprecedented in the annals of crime, that I owed it to myself, to my employers, and to history to carry it through. The inspiration came from the words in the code telegram which indicated that Caratel would arrive in London and hire a special train there to convey him from Liverpool. My British agent, Mr. Moore, and I contrived to buy over several officials of the railway. Now, here begins the story. First, the division head, who helped us employ James McPherson, whom we contrived to be the conductor of any special train we designated. Then further, at a sum that would make them independent for life, we bought over an engine driver named Oswald Smith and the fireman John Slater. These men, we arranged with the division head, would be assigned to whatever special train was hired by Caratel. On the afternoon of June 3rd, as I was sitting in my room at the inn at Barton Moss, the call I had been awaiting came through. It was McPherson reporting.
Hello, Mr. Delanyak.
This tiny bottle. It's so hard to see, I'm sure. This is rosemary on it.
And of course, I'll be in charge.
What about Moore? Will he be aboard?
Afraid not, sir. He gave them quite a story about having to reach his sick wife and all, but Caratal would have none of it. You said, though, sir, that it didn't matter.
It does not matter. What time will you pass Kenyon Junction?
Let me see, sir. If we leave the next few minutes, we should be there at 5:10.
5:10.
It's a 49-minute run, sir.
45 minutes. I can make it, but delay all you can before you start.
Yes, sir. I guess it's all up to you from now on. Best of luck, sir. Oh, here they come, sir. Goodbye.
And another little bottle. It says time.
And now I went to work. Everything had been prepared for days before, and only the finishing touches were needed. The side track, just before Borton Moss, leading to the abandoned Heartsease mine, had once joined the main line, but it had been disconnected when the mine had been worked out some years before. We had only to replace a few rails to connect it once more. With my small but competent band of workers, we had everything ready well before the special arrived. When it did arrive, it ran off upon the small sideline so easily that the jolting of the switch points appears to have been entirely unnoticed by the two travelers. So, now I have our special train upon the small line which leads, or rather used to lead, to the abandoned mine. You will ask how it is that no one saw the train upon this unused line. I answer that along its entire length it runs through a deep cutting, and that unless someone had been on the edge of that cutting, he could not have seen it. There was someone on the edge of that cutting. I was there. And now I will tell you what I saw. The moment the train was fairly on the sideline, Smith slowed down the engine, and then, having turned it on full speed ahead, he and McPherson, with Slater the fireman, sprang off before it was too late. It may be that it was this slowing down which first attracted the attention of the travelers, but the train was running at top speed before their heads appeared at the open window. It makes me smile to think how bewildered they must have been. What a catch must have come to their breath as it flashed upon them that it was not Manchester that was awaiting them, but death. The train was now running at frantic speed, rolling and rocking laughing over the rotten, rusty line, while the wheels made a frightful screaming sound on the corroded surface. I was close to them and could see their faces. Caratel was praying, I think. There was something like a rosary dangling out of his hand. The other, Gomez, roared like a bull, but was drowned out by the incredible noise of the train. He saw me standing on the bank, and when he realized he couldn't be heard, he beckoned to me like a madman, tearing at his wrist and hurling the dispatch box out of the window in my direction. Of course, his meaning was obvious. Here was the evidence that they would promise to be silent if their lives were spared. Would have been very agreeable if it could have been done so, but business is business. Besides, the train was now so much beyond our control as it was theirs. He ceased his howling and gesturing when the train rattled around the curve, and they saw the black mouth of the mine yawning before them. They were struck silent by what they saw, and yet they could not withdraw their heads. The sight seemed to have paralyzed them. I had wondered how the train, running at a great speed, would take the pit, and I was much interested in watching it. One of my colleagues, who had joined me there, thought it actually would jump it, and indeed it was not very far from doing so. It leaped into the air and seemed to hang suspended for a moment. The funnel flew off into the air, and then the van, the car, and the engine were all smashed up into one jumble, which choked the mouth of the great pit. Then something gave way in the middle, and the whole mass of iron, coal fittings, wheels, woodwork, and cushions crumbled together and crashed into the mine. Perfect. The deep muddy water standing in the bottom of the pit 200 feet below responded to the intense heat of the engine boilers. It hissed loudly and blew great bubbles of black mire into the air. At the same time, the walls of the pit, loosened by the impact of the train as it struck the opposite side, gave way, and a mighty avalanche of rock and dirt thundered down upon the wreckage of the train as it settled with a low, hissing sigh, and was covered forever by the mud and mire. The vapor hanging in the air shredded off into thin, small wisps, and all was quiet again in the Heartsease mine. And now, having carried out our plan so successfully, it remained only to leave no trace behind us. Our little band of workers at the other end had already ripped up the rails and disconnected the sideline, replacing everything as it had been before. We were equally busy at the mine. The lines which led to it were torn up and taken away. Then, without flurry but without delay, we all made our way out of the country, most of us to Paris, my English agent to Manchester, and McPherson to East Africa. Word in passing about McPherson, who was foolish enough to write to his wife and tell her to meet him in Mozambique. And naturally, we took steps to ensure that this meeting would never come about. I have sometimes thought it would be a kindness to write to Mrs. McPherson and to assure her that there is no impediment to her marrying again. But of the lost special, let the English papers of that date tell how thoroughly we had done our work and how completely we had thrown the cleverest of their
Sage.
detectives off our track. You will remember that Gomez threw his bag of papers out of the window, and I need not say that I secured that bag and brought them to my employers. It may interest my employers now, however, to learn that out of that bag, I took one or two little papers as a souvenir of that occasion. I had no wish to read the information obtained by these papers, but it is now, it's less than a minute before my broadcast is over. And I have received no word. It is the final hour. I see at the other end of the studio the engineer waving his hands at me that my time is almost up. Well, I gave you warning. You had your chance, gentlemen. Very well. Now I reveal your names. And the first name I reveal is that of child sport. Ladies and gentlemen, they're trying murder. I want you to hear these names quickly. I know you will avenge me. The names are...
Delania, can you hear me? Are you all right? Hey, Bill, play something quick, will you? Theme, curtain music, anything. And so closes the Lost Special by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, starring Orson Welles. Tonight's tale of suspense.
This rebroadcast of Suspense was produced in the United States of America.
Nice to know things never change, right?
A new program, a great program. The Buer Durante Show is coming to
That got
CBS.
loud.
Tune in every Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern Wartime, beginning tomorrow night, for laughs with Jimmy Durante and Gary Moore, and music with Georgia Gibbs and Roy Bargy's orchestra over most of these same stations.
Suspense. This is the Man in Black, here again to introduce Columbia's program, Suspense. With us again as star is Mr. Orson Welles, in the third of 4 successive appearances for the Suspense audience. And sharing honors with Mr. Welles this evening is a lovely and distinguished Hollywood leading lady, Miss Geraldine Fitzgerald. Our play tonight is from a short story by Agatha Christie. And so with Philomel Cottage, and with the performances of Geraldine Fitzgerald as Alex Martin, and of Orson Welles as her devoted husband, Gerald, we again hope to keep you in...
That didn't sound suspicious.
Philomel Cottage.
What's that, Alex?
I was just reading this sign over the gate. What does Philomel mean?
Are you joking?
No, really.
Why, you little cockney. You've been here for 3 weeks and you still don't know. Philomel is another name for the bird that's supposed to sing only for lovers. You've been hearing it every twilight.
Oh, nightingale.
Of course. That sign, Philomel Cottage, is the main reason I wanted this place for us. Glad you bought it.
Gerald, this was a 50-50 investment, and you know it.
50-50, £1,000 from me and 2 from you.
What else could we do? You couldn't touch any more of your capital at the time, and... Well, when you find a country cottage that combines old world charm with new world plumbing, you want to grab it. And we did have to have the place, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Another
I've often
bookshelf
wondered if you went a bit lonely.
Lonely?
display case with a lot of different bottles. I love that. And on the back is more of the garden.
The nearest eavesdropper, you mean?
What an utterly hopeless romantic I met.
Well, you can't get out of it now.
No.
Oh, Gerald, you know what day today is?
Today, it's the 13th.
It's our anniversary, darling. We've known each other exactly a month.
No, exactly 30 days.
Oh, Gerald, really now?
No, really.
What is it, dear? You have the pain again?
No. Just a little indigestion, I think. There.
Do you want me to get you your pill?
No. Well, dear, it's 11:25. Better get on to the village. How to get that camera equipment.
And the human timetable walks through the garden gate.
My dear, there's nothing wrong with system, even on a honeymoon. Sooner I go, sooner I get back.
Oh, come on, Gerald. Forget your old photography. Why don't you stay and do some gardening? It'd be good for you.
Better for old George. He gets paid for it.
He's not due again till Saturday. The place will go to rack and ruin.
Over my dead body. Goodbye, dear.
Don't walk too fast, dear. Remember the last time. Be careful, darling.
Be careful. It had just slipped out. Be careful. Alex Martin swinging there on the garden gate, smiling out her happiness across a part of England that was as remote and placid as any you'd care to find, wondered why she'd said such a ridiculous thing. If this were London, say, that would have... London. And slowly the smile fell away. She knew then that the memory of that last week in London had never really been far from her mind. That and that last talk with Dick on the top deck of the bus crossing Trafalgar Square. She'd never seen him like that before.
Gerald Martin. I tell you, Alex, the man's a perfect stranger to you. You know nothing about him.
I know that I love him.
How can you know in a week? You've only met him.
It doesn't take everyone 7 years to find out they're in love with a girl.
It's meant for me, isn't it? Alex.
It's no use.
Alex, don't you know what it's been for me not being able to tell you? I couldn't, not with the income I had. Then I decided I couldn't wait anymore, and I was going to tell you anyway. And you know what happened?
No, I'm afraid I don't.
Oh, yes, you do. That money you inherited. That money from your cousin or uncle or whoever
I don't see what
You
that...
didn't think I could ask you to marry me then, did you? You don't think I could live off your money?
I'm sorry, Dick. Believe me, I am, but it really doesn't matter now, one way or the other.
Doesn't matter, does it? You can bet it matters to that Martin chap. That's what he's after. You mark my words, he's after your money.
Dick, it might interest you to know that Gerald has money of his own, far more than I have.
And more than I have. Maybe that's the difference.
Oh, I've had enough of this. I'm getting off at the next stop.
Alex, please. All right, but let me tell you something. If you think I'm going to let Gerald cut me out and not do anything about it, you're very much mistaken. I'll catch up with him, do you hear? I'll catch up with him if it's the last thing I do.
I'll catch up with him if it's the last thing I do. To Alex, that threat of just 1 month ago was merely a heat-of-the-moment outburst of hurt pride. And yet, as she leaned on the gate of Philomel Cottage, it kept echoing in her mind. What swept it away, what brought her back to the rustic, idyllic happiness of her life with Gerald Martin, was the ring of the telephone inside the cottage. Who could be calling? Couldn't be Gerald. Gerald had hardly had time to get beyond the turn in the road. Except if something had happened to him. If he'd had another attack. Maybe one of the villagers was trying to call to say that he... Well, she hurried then, and her hand shook a trifle.
Hello?
Alex, this is Dick.
What? Who did you say? Dick?
Why, Alex, what's the matter with your voice? I wouldn't have known it. It's Dick. Dick Wonderford.
Oh, well, where are you?
At the Traveler's Arms. That is the right name, isn't it? Or aren't you acquainted with your village pub?
Do you mean you're here?
Yes, I'm on a holiday doing a bit of fishing. Any objection to my looking up you two good people this afternoon?
Oh, no. No, you mustn't.
Why, Alex. I beg your pardon. Of course, I won't bother you if you'd rather I didn't.
I'm sorry, Dick. I only meant that we'd be away this afternoon. Won't you come this evening?
Thanks very much, but I'll probably be away by then. Depends upon whether a pal of mine turns up or not. Goodbye, Alex.
Goodbye, Dick, and I hope that...
Best of luck.
For a long moment, Alex stood quite still, the memory of Dick's threat flooding her mind. She walked across the spacious oak-beamed living room. By the time she reached the side porch, she'd made up her mind. Much as she hated deceit, she would say nothing to Gerald of Dick's call. She stepped out into the garden, and for the second time that morning got a surprise. There, big as life, was her gardener, busily trimming the hedge.
Why, George. I thought we agreed that Saturday was your day here.
I thought as how you'd be surprised, Mrs. Martin. There'll be a fair over the Squires on Saturday. I says to myself, Mr. and Mrs. Martin, they won't take it amiss if I comes for once on a Wednesday instead of a Saturday.
No, of course not, George.
Then I thought, too, as I might as well see before he goes away so as to learn your wishes with the boarders.
Before I go away?
To London tomorrow.
Me? Going to London tomorrow? Where did you hear that?
Met Mr. Martin down the village yesterday. He told me you was both going away to London tomorrow, and it was uncertain when you'd be back again.
I didn't.
Now, don't tell me you and the master is disagreeing already.
Hmm? Oh, no, naturally not. The trip just slipped my mind. Get on with your work, George.
Listen, never could understand why anybody'd want to go up to London, though. Like Mr. Raines, what used to have this house. He went up there, not that it'll mind you. Yes, and after fixing up this place like he did, with taps all over everywhere, well, you're going to take a loss, I says to him when I sees the place up for sale. Ain't everyone as well you're fed for washing themselves in every room in this house, in a manner of speaking. But George, he says to me, he'll get every penny of £2,000 for this house. And sure enough, he did.
He got 3,000.
2,000. Some he was asking was talked of at the time. Well, I figure it was thought to be.
No, George. You see, I gave 2 and, well, it really was 3,000.
You don't tell me that Mr. Ames had the face to stand up to say 3,000 brazen like in a loud voice?
He didn't say it to me. He said it to my husband.
My husband.
Do some speeding now. The price was 2,000.
As Alex strolled on across the garden, she was conscious of a thin, vague thought struggling to make itself heard. Then, abruptly, it was gone. Her eye had fallen upon a small, dark green object lying in the fur beside one of the flower beds.
Gerald's diary.
Her husband's pocket diary. She picked it up and opened it, scanning the entries with some amusement, once again reminded of Gerald's enslavement to time and system. It was the entry on page 21 that brought the smile to her face.
April 14th. Marry Alex at St. Peter's Church, 2:30.
And it was the entry on page 30 that took that smile away. She stared, puzzled, at the date on the page, Wednesday, May 13th.
Why, that's today.
Only one thing was written there, in red pencil.
6 p.m.
What was to happen at 6 p.m.? As she stood there, that small, vague thought struggled to be heard once more. It was something Dick Winterfeld had said. Not the threat, not that wild, silly promise of vengeance, but something else. And then it came.
Perfect stranger to you. You know nothing about him. Nothing about him.
It was true. What did she know about him? After all, he...
This is ridiculous. Gerald, my husband. I love him. I trust him. But...
Then she thought once again of that cryptic entry. 6 p.m. It was just 3 o'clock when Gerald, his arms laden with packages, walked up the garden path and came onto the side porch.
Oh, Alex!
The moment he opened the door into the living room, she noticed the rather odd kind of excitement about him.
There you are. Miss me, darling?
Why wouldn't I? You've had time to buy out the whole village.
Only the camera shop. Now, if I don't have the best equipped darkroom this side of London, it won't be my fault.
If you're not careful, that darkroom of yours is going to overflow the whole cellar. Oh, incidentally, here's something you've been watering the flowers with. Catch.
My diary. I dropped it in
They're
the garden, did I?
tiny tarot
I know
cards.
all your secrets now.
Not guilty.
Oh, I'm not so sure. What about your assignation at 6 p.m. today?
Why, that. Well, you've caught me at last. It's an assignation with a very handsome young woman, quite remarkably like you, in fact.
You're evading the issue.
Not at all. Simply a reminder that I want you to help me develop some negatives this evening.
At 6 o'clock? That's rather a peculiar time, isn't it?
Peculiar?
Yes, I'm usually preparing dinner at that hour.
Well, no harm in delaying it a bit. We might have a sandwich or two and some coffee out on the porch.
Before we work on the negatives, you mean?
Yes, that'll be pleasant, won't it? You know something, Alex? I've never found anybody yet who could touch your coffee.
Oh.
Really.
That covers Australia and Canada,
Oh,
too.
you and your mysterious past.
Why do you say that?
No reason.
Why do you say that?
Oh, Gerald, I do wish I did know more about you.
Alex, you're serious.
I know it's silly, but
Darling. I've told you all about me, my boyhood in Sydney, my life in Canada.
Yes?
I see. You mean love affairs. You women are all alike.
Well, but there must have been. There must have been other women. I mean, if only I...
Do you think it wise, Alex, this Bluebeard's chamber business? Let's put your mind on such a subject anyway. Never mentioned it before.
Oh, I don't know, Gerald. I've been rather upset all day. I imagine I can thank old George for that.
The gardener, you mean?
He had some ridiculous idea we were going away to London. He said you told him
Where
so.
did you see him?
He came to work today instead of Saturday.
You fool!
Why, Gerald. Oh.
I didn't get this collar off.
Oh, Gerald, lie down. Look, lie down here. Here's some water. Here, darling.
I'm all right. I'm all right. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, darling, getting you all upset. That's because the stupid old gardener.
I made some weak joke to him about go off to London in the morning. He must have taken it seriously, or else he didn't hear properly. You straightened him out, I suppose.
Hardly. You know what a gossip he is. I didn't want the whole village to think my husband was leaving me in the dark about his plans. Are you all right now?
You told him we were going then.
Naturally.
Yes, of course. Sorry you were placed in that kind of a situation, darling. I don't suppose you ran into anybody else today?
This far from the world, Gerald?
It isn't very likely, is it?
Gerald?
No, not another word. No, not another word. You aren't yourself now. It's quite plain. I want you to have a little rest. You'll be right as rain by 6 o'clock.
Must you do those photographs tonight? After all, you don't see so well yourself.
Dear, when one sets a time to do something, one should stick to it. It's the only way to get through one's work. All right, up with you. Upstairs to your bed now.
Very well, dear.
I'll be getting things arranged in the dark room.
But for Alex, rest was more like a nightmare. Upstairs in her room, she told herself that there was no basis whatever for her state of mind. Still, the turmoil, the doubt, the odd, unaccountable sense of dread persisted and grew until... Softly, she opened her door and stepped out up in the upstairs hallway. Quite clearly, she knew what she must do. Knew she must find some testimony to her husband's past, something to reassure her, something to kill that agonizing dread mounting within her. And strangely, she remembered that single locked drawer in Gerald's bureau. She tiptoed to the door at the head of the stairs, opened it, and entered her husband's room. The key, yes, the key. If only she could find the key that locked the drawer. But there was none in sight. She moved to the wardrobe, went through his coat pockets, and then there at her feet, there on the floor, she saw it. Swiftly, she stepped to the bureau, inserted the key, and it worked. Alex Martin opened the drawer, looked down upon a small packet of letters tied with a light blue ribbon. And when she saw the uppermost envelope, her face reddened with shame.
Why, they're my letters.
They were her own letters, love letters written to Gerald before they were married. And there was nothing else in the drawer save a roll of ancient faded newspaper clippings. Alex sighed with relief as she glanced at the top clipping. It was from an American paper, and it featured the trial of one Charles Lemaitre.
Charles Lemaitre.
A notorious swindler and bigamist. A skeleton had been found beneath the floor of his house, and most of the women he'd married had never been heard of again. Another of the clippings described Lemaitre's behavior in court, his interest in the cameras of the news photographers, his sensational escape from prison. Another displayed his picture, a long, bearded, scholarly-looking fellow. It reminded her of someone. But
Someone.
She couldn't tell. She glanced at the caption beneath the picture.
Modern Bluebeard.
Modern Bluebeard. Yes, that's what she read. Her eyes went back to the picture, and in a flash, they saw the resemblance. She ran through the other clippings. Dates had been found in the man's pocket diary, dates it was contended when he had done away with his victims. He was an amateur photographer. He was from Sydney, from Canada. He was subject to heart attacks. He was Gerald. The room whirled around her. Dick had tried to warn her. Dick had been near her that morning. She turned him away. It was then that she noticed the sound. She turned toward the bright new pipe in the corner running up through the room. From below, near its base, something was striking that pipe, as though someone were... That was it. As though someone were digging. Lemaitre was preparing the dark room for the latest one of his victims. 6 o'clock. That was the date, 6 o'clock. Less than an hour from now. Suddenly, all the jigsaw pieces shot into place. The money paid for the house, her money only. The bond she'd entrusted for his keeping. Suddenly she heard no sound. The digging had stopped. She must escape from this house at once before he came up. The clippings were right back in the drawer. Don't lock it, don't bother, just get away. She rushed to the door, out to the hall, and stopped throat.
Yes, my dear?
Oh, you startled me. I was just trying to find your nail file.
Were you, dear? Well, that's nothing to look so guilty about now, is it? Better come on down. Getting late, you know.
Gerald,
Just have time to make the coffee and sandwiches. Before we do the pictures, that is.
I'll be right down, darling.
Oh, but we really mustn't delay, must we? Coming, Alex?
Very well.
Now, that's better. Here, let me give you a hand.
Never mind, Gerald.
Alex, how cold you are.
Cold. Yes, I am, rather.
Well, that'll soon pass away, I'm sure. Hurry along, dear.
Hurry along?
Yes, into the kitchen. Alex, what is the matter?
Nothing. I'll be all right. The kitchen. Yes, I'll fix us something in a second. You just sit here in the living room and... No, the porch. That'll be more comfortable, won't it? And I'll be right with you.
Splendid, Alex. I'll just... No, of course not.
What, Gerald?
I'm knocking stuff over.
How rotten of me not to have suggested it. Since you're feeling a bit under par, you can probably do with some help. I'll come with you.
She knew then that some way, somehow, she must get word to Dick Winterford. The fact that he might be gone by now, the memory of him telling her so, she resolutely put out of her mind. There must be no more panic. She must be in utter control of herself. Alex, carrying the coffee out to the porch, glanced at the clock upon the mantel. 10 minutes till 6. Her very life hung by those next 10 minutes, by her ability to think coolly and swiftly, because standing beside her was a man as determined as he was insane.
A pity you're so abstracted, my dear.
What? Why do you say that?
Well, because you're missing the loveliest sight you're ever likely to see again. Look out beyond the garden. First soft shades of twilight. Twilight. Over Philomel Cottage. Now, I say, Alex, you are below par.
What do you mean?
First time you've ever slipped on the coffee. You must have tossed in the entire canister.
I'll be more careful after this. Oh, dear. That reminds
Alex, where are you going?
Nothing to get excited about, Gerald. I forgot to order meat for tomorrow. I'm just going to phone the butcher.
The butcher this time of evening?
He generally stays late on Wednesdays. I'll be right back, darling.
Don't shut the door, Alex.
It keeps the insects out of the living room. You're not afraid I'm going to make love to the butcher, are you? Operator, get me the traveler's arms, please. Hurry. Hello? Traveler's arms? Mr. Winterford, please. Will you... What? You don't know if he's still there? Well, see, won't you? It's most important.
Don't let me disturb you.
Well, darling, you do. I hate anyone listening when I telephone. But I do, Gerald, truly.
You're quite sure you're really calling the butcher?
Why, as a matter of fact, I'm not sure.
What?
What I mean
What are
is,
you talking about?
I'm afraid I've got the wrong person. A perfect stranger.
Don't understand.
Someone I know nothing about.
You know nothing about, then why don't you hang up? Here, who's at the end of that wire? Hello? Hello? Dead. All right, my girl. Might as well get started. We're late now.
Late?
Precisely 3 minutes past 6.
Why, Gerald, it won't be 6 o'clock for 8 minutes. Look at the clock there on the mantel.
I don't go by that relic. I go by my own
Gerald,
wristwatch.
listen. Stop pacing and listen to
Well?
me. I don't feel up to it tonight. I'm upset. I'm tired.
Alex, I promise you, you won't be a bit tired after it's over. I'm not going to wait 1 minute longer.
I won't do it.
Come along,
I'm
Alex.
fine with you.
Come along.
No.
I'll carry you there. You will, you hear? You will.
I've got something to tell you. Something to confess.
Confess?
Yes, to confess. Something I ought to have told you before. I've had my secret past, too.
Former lover, I suppose.
In a way, but something else. You'd call it, yes, I expect you'd call it a crime.
Crime? You?
Yes.
I don't believe it.
Yes. You better sit down, Gerald. There. I told you I'd never been married before. That wasn't entirely true. There was a marriage. When I was 22, he was an elderly man with a little property. I induced him to insure his life in my favor. At one time, I was a nurse with access to a number of poisons. There's one poison, a white powder. You know something about poisons, perhaps?
No, I know very little about them.
This one is very much like... It's absolutely untraceable. Any doctor would give a certificate of heart failure, and that... No, I can't tell you.
No.
Another time, Gerald.
Another time now. I want to
Another time. Yeah, we'll do it later.
Take it.
How did I get him to take it out?
Yes.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
I always made his coffee for him.
Coffee?
Yes. One night I put a pinch of this poison in his cup. I remember that evening how very much like this it was, how peaceful. He gasped a little, tried to move from his chair.
There we
but
go.
He couldn't. Presently, he died.
How much was the insurance money?
About £2,000. I speculated. I lost it. It was over 2 years before I married again. He was a much younger man, quite well off. There was a will in my favor. He liked me to make his coffee, too, just as my first husband had done. I make very good coffee.
Alex!
It was the same, along about twilight.
Alex.
I remember it perfectly. How nervous and upset I'd been all day, wondering if it would turn out all right.
Coffee?
But it did. It was the same as the other. He just sat there in his chair, and he died. Our village doctor pronounced it heart failure.
Alex.
My husband did have a weak heart, you see, and that helped a great deal.
Alex, listen!
That netted me over £4,000. I didn't speculate.
Coffee! That's why it tasted that way. You devil, you poisoned me! You poisoned me!
Yes, I poisoned you. And already the poison is working. You see? You can't move from your chair.
You're lying. You're lying. I'll kill you!
You can't move. You're helpless.
Kill you what?
Constable, what's the worst thing happening in that room? Right, sir?
You came. You did hear me.
Oh, you silly girl. You went to the trouble to call me up and talk about someone you knew nothing about. I certainly knew enough to come.
Excuse me, sir.
What did you find, Constable?
A man sitting in a chair. Heart trouble, it looks like, sir. And
yes?
Well, sir, he's dead. Your husband, ma'am?
My Claire. A perfect stranger. He was just sitting in his chair and presently he died.
What? Okay. So they were both murderers? Or did she...
And so closes Philomel Cottage, Agatha Christie's story
Wait a
of
minute.
Love from a Stranger, starring Geraldine Fitzgerald
I'm a little
and
confused.
Orson Welles. Tonight's tale of...
Was she also a murderer, or did she just upset him so much that he died?
Columbia's invitation to spend this half hour in
Also, we don't really know if he was a murderer.
1 week from Tuesday, when Orson Welles will again be our star. Our next broadcast in the series will be Tuesday, October 19th at 10 o'clock Eastern War Time, 7 o'clock Pacific War Time. The producer of Suspense is William Spear, who tonight also directed the broadcast, and who, with Wilbur Hatch and Lucian Marlowick, conductor and composer, and Harold Medford, the radio author, collaborated on tonight's Suspense.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Suspense, another new narrator.
For you men and women in the armed forces of the United Nations, we present one of America's top spine tinglers, a radio rebroadcast of a program dedicated to the mysterious, the unusual, and sometimes the supernatural. A program of suspense.
This is the truth. Do you understand? The truth. It must be the truth. It has to be. I, Robert Wensley Graham, a doctor and psychiatrist by profession, do hereby of my own free will and volition, albeit with deepest regret, make the following full and complete statement relative to that all but unbelievable series of events which has brought such disaster and misfortune to my house, particularly to my poor wife, Isabel. It had its beginning, properly speaking, some 2 months ago, to be exact, on the evening of July 25th. We were in the drawing room, Isabel at the piano, practicing, as she said. Her Aunt Jane and I on the opposite sides of the room.
Isabel, what's the matter?
I don't know. I can't seem to keep my mind on anything anymore, even my music. Nerves.
Nerves.
Isabel,
Yes, Robert.
I don't wish to distress you, but it's been going on for quite a little while now. It's not getting any better.
I know. Let's not discuss it, shall we?
You should let me prescribe treatment for you.
I could prescribe something for her.
You can do remarkable things now with just the common old drugs under proper control.
Drugs. It's not drugs that she needs. It's to get out of this house for a while. It's to get back to the concert stage where she belongs. It's work.
Aunt Jane, please.
I'm sorry. I don't believe in beating around the bush. You're an artist. You've got talent. There's no sense in your trying to subordinate yourself to somebody else.
Aunt Jane, that's enough. I'm not subordinating myself to anyone.
Really, Aunt Jane, you mustn't interfere, you know.
Robert doesn't want me to go back on the stage.
Darling, it isn't that I don't want you to go back. I'm proud of you. You know that. It's only because I know that going back to a professional career in your present mental condition would be terribly harmful.
I know, Robert. I know you're right.
Oh, after all, I'm a doctor. It's my business to know these things.
You're a doctor, really?
Probably the hospital. Hello? Hello? Yes, it's Dr. Graham. Oh, yes.
This little tree that you make, it's really fun.
Huh. Well, when would you like to see me? All right, fine. No trouble at all. Very well, I'll be expecting you. Goodbye. Isabel, good heavens. What do you suppose that was?
Who?
Roger Holcomb. Do you remember the case?
Roger Holcomb?
I remember it.
Of course you do. The fellow was brought back from the dead, as the newspapers put it, about a year ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he really was dead for 4 full minutes, as far as medical science was concerned. Then Bates brought him around. It was 9 days' wonder at the time.
Well, what does he want to see you about?
I don't know. Something to do with his experience, obviously. He was in a terribly agitated state. Poor fellow been walking up and down in front of the house for an hour trying to get up courage to ring the bell. Finally, he phoned from the corner drugstore.
Why, the poor man. Why in the world should he do that?
Anxiety neurosis. They hounded him, you know, in the most shocking way. Got out of the hospital. Preachers and spiritualists and movie agents, just plain fakers. People trying to find out if he remembered anything. It was 4 minutes. He was supposed to be dead. People just trying to exploit him. Oh, must be Holcomb now. Take him into the office.
Dr. Graham?
Yes, you're Roger Holcomb?
Yes.
Come in. Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Holcomb.
Is it?
You come this way, please. My office. Now, just sit down anywhere. Lie down on the couch if you like. You're tired.
I am tired. Tired and
Give me your hand, please.
For heaven's sake, there's nothing wrong with my pulse. If that's all you think it is, I'll go.
Why did you come to me, Mr. Holcomb?
You know my history?
Yes, most medical men do. Up until your disappearance.
Yeah, most medical men do, all right. Then they tell me I'm crazy.
Do you think you are, Mr. Holcomb?
Oh, I see. You're like all the rest. Let go of me, please.
Just a minute, Mr. Holcomb. You came to me for advice. Treatment. I suggest you tell me your story.
Well, I was told you specialize in strange cases. Things that other men can't explain.
And that's true in a way.
You know what happened when I got out of the hospital.
Yes.
Followed me, questioned me, hounded me day and night, trying to find out if I remembered anything, I'd experienced anything beyond the grave.
Yes, I remember that.
Well, then you remember that my answer was always the same. That I remembered nothing. That I knew nothing. Well, I was wrong.
Oh? What did you experience during those 4 minutes?
I don't know. But it must have been something. Something I don't even dare to think about.
How do you know this?
Well, it happened the first time on a boat trip, which I'd taken to recover my health. I found myself chatting with a woman who was seated at my table in the dining saloon. She found occasion, as such women often will, to mention her age. She said, after all, I'm not yet 40. And then it happened.
What happened?
Well, from somewhere came crashing into my mind a certain knowledge of the exact day and year of that woman's birth. And with it, a compulsion to speak out. A compulsion which I could no more have resisted than I could have resisted breathing. I said, Madam, you were born in May, weren't you? May 30th. And she looked at me in utter astonishment. We'd never even seen each other before in our lives. And said, yes. And then I added the date, the year 1900. See, she was well over 40. She'd lied to me. Innocent enough thing, but I had known the truth. And I'd been forced to speak. And I have been ever since.
This phenomenon has occurred often?
More times than I can remember. Every time a direct lie, no matter how trivial, is uttered in my presence, I suddenly know the answer to that lie. I know the truth. And I'm compelled to speak it.
And this condition has existed only since your...
Since my 4 minutes beyond the grave, yes.
Quite.
It's as though, in that brief time, I glimpsed eternity. if I'd seen revealed all truth of all the ages. I can never tell you how horrible that's been. I found that men, even the most honest of men, live by lies.
Tell me, you have a family, friends who are understanding?
Oh, for heaven's sake, Doctor, don't you understand what this has done to me? Yes, I had a family and friends, a girl I was going to marry. Today I'm an outcast, pariah. I'm shunned, feared. I'm hated. Yes, hated.
Mr. Holcomb. Mr. Holcomb, I believe that this condition is very real to you. Causes you very real anguish. I want to help you.
Do you think you can?
I'm confident that I can. Suppose you could arrange to stay with me here at my home for a matter of weeks or months, if necessary.
Well, I'll do anything.
Good.
Anything in the world to be a normal man again, but...
But what?
Dr. Graham, I can see that you still don't believe me.
Oh, no.
I beg of you. You don't know the terrible responsibility I'd be to you. I'd be like a spy, like some inexorable prosecutor from another world.
Mr. Holcomb, let me worry about that.
All right.
All right.
Is there anyone else in your household who might object?
Oh, no, it's only my wife and her aunt. Have your own quarters. Be quite comfortable, I assure you.
I'm sure I'd be. It's a lovely house, but I've seen of it.
Yes, I'm rather lucky. I'm interested in research primarily. Not much money in that, you know, but a couple of years ago I came into quite a nice inheritance. House went with it. What is it? What's the matter?
The inheritance was not yours. It was your wife's. The house is your wife's. You were penniless.
Oh, that's true. I don't know why I lied to you. Pride, I suppose.
I'm sorry. I told you I couldn't help it.
No.
I'll go now.
Please. Mr. Holcomb, my fault. It's a small matter.
But you see now that
I want to help you.
Do you believe me now?
I believe, Mr. Holcomb, either that you are far more ill than I realized, or that in months to come, you and I must venture into a realm never before explored by mortal man. It was utterly fantastic, and yet it was true. I checked the facts again and again. He could not possibly have known, and yet he knew. Could you imagine what this meant to a man of science? I could
Science.
fathom the depths of Roger Holcomb's mind. I could make a contribution to the body of scientific knowledge absolutely without parallel in modern times. I'd be more famous than Pasteur or Ehrlich. There remained the problem of Isabel. I was aware of the danger, of course. I was acutely aware of the peculiarly delicate balance of her mind at that time. Of the fact that the presence of a man like Roger Holcomb might be seriously detrimental to my rather well-conceived plans for Isabel. I believed I could control the situation. I determined to proceed. Actually, Holcomb's presence made itself felt almost immediately. The first incident came after he'd been with us.
Isabel, please stop that playing and listen to me.
Aunt Jane, you know Robert has said I mustn't talk about it, that it's bad for me.
I don't care what Robert said.
But he's my doctor and my husband.
And I'm not sure that he should be either.
That's, yeah,
Aunt Jane, I
not
don't know much
approved.
about psychiatry, but I do know that making trouble between a husband and a wife...
I'm not making anything that isn't there already, and you know it. Good heavens, girl. Look at yourself. Look what's happened to you since your marriage.
I've been sick.
He's made you sick.
That's ridiculous.
Maybe it's just that he's afraid of losing you. Maybe he's even afraid of losing your money. But I'm absolutely convinced that whether he's meant to or not, he's made you believe there's something the matter with you that isn't.
Aunt Jane, I simply forbid you to talk this way.
And now he brings this psychopath into the house.
And don't bring Roger into it. He's Robert's patient. It's Robert's work and it's none of our business.
What about your own work?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter?
Aunt Jane, you simply don't understand. Robert is my husband. I trust him and I love him. Nothing can ever come between us. I'd destroy anything. I'd kill anyone who tried.
Isabel, do
That sounds
something
sane.
before it's too late.
Do what?
Get away. Leave him. Divorce him. Anything.
Oh, I hope we're not interrupting.
Of course not, darling. Hello, Roger.
Hello, Isabel.
Good afternoon.
How are you feeling, Roger?
I'm better, I think.
I think it would be better if we didn't discuss our states of mind, Isabel.
Oh, of course, I'm sorry. Well, would you like me to play something for you? You know, I think I'm beginning to get the feel of it again. Really, I do.
You're sure we haven't interrupted some conversation?
Of course not. We were just discussing how helpful you've been in getting Isabel back to her work again. Roger.
No. No, you were not. You were telling Isabel to divorce her husband. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Roger, come back.
Isabel, is that true?
You brought him in here deliberately.
Is that true?
It doesn't matter, I suppose. You've known how I felt for a long time.
Yes, I'm afraid I have.
Robert, it was all so silly. She didn't mean it. It was just
I
that
did
she...
mean it.
But I did mean it. I'm sorry, Isabel. But I've been under this roof too long as it is.
Oh, Jane, you're not leaving us.
It's best, Isabel.
Yes? Yes, I think it's unquestionably best. Best that you go at once. She left us, of course. I'd always believed that Jane exercised an unfortunate influence over Isabel. I did not dream it had reached such a point as this. Yet this incident gave me my first insight into the relationship which was destined to develop between Isabel, Roger, and myself. The first and most obvious result was that within a matter of weeks, Isabel was to lose every friend she had. We became further estranged as each day passed. It was difficult to speak of even the most casual things with this strangely terrifying specter of truth, always at our elbow. The situation reached its inevitable climax the evening that Leopold Sorinsky, the famous conductor of the Los Angeles Symphony, was to call on Isabel with a view to resumption of her professional career under his auspices. I gave a great deal of thought to that evening. It had to be handled with a great...
Robert, you will help me, won't you?
Of course I will, darling.
I don't know whether you realize how important it is to me. I have nothing but the music now. I've been working so hard. Playing sometimes half the night while you were asleep.
I've heard you.
Sometimes it seems that the piano's all that's helping me to keep my sanity.
My darling, I want you to let me prescribe something for you. It's time we face this thing, your trouble, I mean.
Robert, does he have to have dinner with us tonight?
Roger, Isabel, you know how I stand on that.
Oh, yes, but just
Now,
this one.
Even once, Isabel, keep him in his room like a spoiled child when we have guests. Isabel, it might undo everything I've accomplished in weeks.
Oh, of course. You're right. But,
Oh, Roger, come in.
Robert, I was wondering if I mightn't be excused just tonight.
Oh, you're having dinner with us, Roger.
Must I?
You know you must, Roger.
Must
Why?
I?
Why, Roger, don't you want to meet the great Leopold Sorinsky? He's really a wonderful person.
Yes, indeed, I would very much.
You know, I made my debut.
And he's so
with him
hard to hear.
1934. I did a concert with him every year until I...
Isabel was very talented, you know.
I was? I am. Oh, Roger, I'm going to play with him again. He wants me to open the season in November. Can you imagine what that means to me?
I'm so glad, Isabel.
And Robert has finally given his consent. Haven't you, dear?
I'm sorry. What was it you said, Isabel?
I said you'd given your consent to my playing with Sorinsky.
Well, Isabel, you know I don't want you to think that I'd ever stand in your way.
I know, dear. Roger, I'll do the Emperor Concerto, and you will come to hear me. You do want to, don't you, Roger?
Please, Isabel, don't ask things of me that can't...
What's the matter? What's the matter with both of you? You act as though you thought I wouldn't be able to appear. As though the whole idea were hopeless or something.
Isabel, please.
I am going to play. I'll be better than I ever was. You know I will, don't you? Don't you?
Of course, Isabel. You play wonderfully. Roger.
No, Robert, you're very certain that Isabel will be prevented from ever playing again by death.
Death?
Oh, Isabel, forgive me, please.
By death? No. Oh, no. Please, Roger, it's not true. Tell me it isn't. Roger, answer me. Answer me. Roger, do you hear me? Answer me. Answer me!
When Sorinsky arrived, I told him it'd be quite impossible for Isabel to leave her room. The concert was canceled, and indeed, to my knowledge, she's never touched the piano since that day. By now, to even the most casual observer, it must appear only natural that Isabel had every motive for a desperate, almost paranoid hatred of Roger Holcomb. This much was clear to me. The rest not yet. But one thing from any point of view was certain. I had to keep Roger and Isabel apart. Perhaps what I feared was indeed inevitable. I honestly did not think it so at the time. As a precautionary measure, however, I prescribed a drug for Isabel, which she at last consented to take. I gave her her own supply. She administered it to herself, as I had directed.
Roger? Roger?
Yeah?
It's Isabel.
What do you want?
Let me in, please.
No.
Please, it's terribly important.
Robert said that
I
I'm
know.
not-
But he said it would be all right this time.
You sure?
Yes. Yes, please.
All right. Now, what do you want?
I want to talk to you, that's all.
What about it that's so important?
Roger, why don't you ever leave your room anymore?
Can't you guess?
Do you think I hate you?
Isabel, I don't know what to think anymore.
You do, don't you?
I warned him. I told him it would happen. Now I'm going mad up here, thinking of the anguish I've caused you.
But, Roger, I don't. You must believe me.
I know what it's been like for you having me here. Isabel.
Roger, you see, for the first time in my life, I think my husband is wrong about something.
Wrong?
Yes. Don't you see? He's been worried about both of us. And so this distrust has grown up between us.
Well, I don't distrust you, Isabel. You've been more wonderful to me than I
But
can say.
you're afraid of me. And that amounts to the same thing. And it's bad for the both of us. It's hurting both of us.
I've often felt I wanted to talk to you, beg your pardon.
Oh, you don't have to do that. We're both sick. But I think if we saw each other sometimes, if we talked the whole thing out, it would help us both.
Well, does Robert think so, too?
No.
Then he didn't tell you it was all right to see me.
No. I lied to you.
You what?
I lied to you.
You lied to me. And it didn't happen. Isabel, don't you see? I am getting well. It didn't happen.
I know. I don't think it does happen anymore. Except with Robert.
With Robert? What makes you think
I don't
that...
know. Something about the way he acts. The way he is.
Oh, but Isabel, he is curing me. Then perhaps you shouldn't have come
No,
up and...
no, don't you understand? We must see each other. We must talk.
No, listen.
Isabel.
Robert, something's happened that I must tell you
Please,
about.
you're completely overwrought.
Oh, but Robert, it's...
I must insist. Isabel, why did you do this?
I'm
You have to
sorry.
have a sedative right away. Isabel, get the bottle from your room.
Mine?
Yes, please, hurry.
All right.
Robert, she lied to me.
Yes, I know. But, Roger, I must absolutely forbid you to talk now. You must trust me.
All right, but later I want to have a long talk with you.
Of course we
She lied.
shall.
Here it is. I brought my hypodermic, too.
I'm glad you did. The other one's mislaid somewhere. Will you give it to him, please?
I?
Yes, I'm sorry, but this has upset me rather badly. My hands are shaking.
Robert, I'm terribly sorry.
No matter now. Give him the hypodermic, the upper arm. That's right.
There.
Thank you. Leave us now, please, Isabel.
All right.
How are you feeling now, Roger?
Well, I'm fine, Robert. I think I'm better than I've been in months.
I know you're better. That's why I was so upset to see you.
Why, Robert?
Can't tell you all my reasons now, but you must trust me and believe in me.
Oh, I do, but...
Only that I'm afraid for your health. Roger.
No. You're afraid of murder.
What?
Murder.
Roger, listen to me. Roger.
Murder.
Roger, what are you talking about? Roger. Roger! It was clear to me now. I knew I must take immediate action. I knew that the most terrible consequences might result if Isabel were alone with Roger, even for a moment. But he knew that he'd said so. There was no other explanation. I thought it through most carefully. And yet no plans are perfect. No man is infallible. Isabel!
Robert, frightened.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Don't lie to me, Isabel.
I'm not.
You were coming from Roger's room.
No. No, I swear I won't.
Isabel, don't you understand that you're sick? That I've insisted on these things for your own good and his.
All right. I was going to talk to him, but I haven't.
Oh, Isabel. Why do you try to tell me that?
But it's true, Robert, really true.
Is it? Roger? Roger?
What's the matter?
Look,
Robert. No, it couldn't be.
it is. He's dead.
Dead.
Hypodermic by his side, the drug, your hypodermic.
But it's only a sedative.
Except that in large enough quantity, it's fatal. You knew that.
Oh, Robert, don't listen to me.
Isabel, why? Why I warned you.
Robert, look at me. It's Isabel. It's your wife. You can't. Oh, no. Where are you going? Come back.
I'm going to call the police. It was perhaps the most terrible decision a man ever had to make, even though it did come not as a shock to me, even from my point of view as a scientist. It was terrible enough. Yet it had to be done, and I had done it. I did not speak to her as we waited, and she made no further attempt to appeal to me. She seemed utterly stupefied, perhaps as a result of the drugs she'd herself been taking. Perhaps because she suddenly realized she was hopelessly trapped. Police arrived, I told the story with as little emotion.
Yes, there are fingerprints all right on both the bottle and
Those
the
would be my
hypodermic.
wife's, of course. They both belong to her.
Is that true, Mrs. Graham?
Yes.
Dr. Graham, do I understand then that you are formally charging your wife with the murder of Roger Holcomb?
Well, you could hardly expect me to do that, could you? I'm simply telling you the facts.
Yes, but you said she hated Holcomb, and you knew it.
My wife has been mentally ill for some time. There are many people who can testify to that. She will plead insanity, of course.
Dr. Graham, I can't tell you how sorry I am, but the things you have told me add up to only one thing, as you yourself obviously recognize.
Yes.
Your wife, Isabel Graham, murdered Roger Holcomb.
What did you say?
I said your wife, Isabel Graham, murdered Roger Holcomb.
No. I murdered him. What? I tried to make it appear that Isabel had done it. And I succeeded. But I killed him. No plans are perfect. No man is infallible. Yes, I killed Roger Holcomb. And he himself revealed the truth. I'd planned to dispose of Isabel for many months. I'd never loved her. I'd loved only science. I wanted her money and I found it out. That was the risk I ran. But any chance lie in his presence, either by Isabel or myself, bring out the truth, and it did. I had no alternative once he'd discovered that, but to kill him. It's easy enough to throw the blame on Isabel. I had not counted on that terrible compulsion for the truth. That strange affliction of Roger Holcomb's and its power over me. Did it transfer itself at his death to me? Or was it conscious? Pity that it had to end this way. It was a fascinating case.
That was a kind of a dumb one. I love science.
Lazarus Walks, starring Orson Welles. Tonight's tale of suspense.
This rebroadcast is a presentation of the Armed Forces Radio Service.
Suspense. This is the Man in Black, here again to introduce Columbia's program, Suspense. With us in Hollywood tonight as star is Mr. Otto Kruger, whose career on the screen and on the stage has afforded him a precisely equal number of appearances as a character on the right and on the wrong side of the law. Whether the man Mr. Kruger portrays tonight is devil or saint, we shall leave for you to judge when the play is over. It is called After Dinner Story. The author is Cornell Woolrich, the radio adapter Robert L. Richards. And so, with the performance of Otto Kruger as Mr. Hardecker, who told this extraordinary after-dinner story, we again hope to keep you in suspense.
Mr. Hardecker's residence? I believe I'm expected for dinner, please.
Your name, sir?
Kenshaw's my name.
Very good, sir. Mr. Hardecker? Mr. Kenshaw, sir.
Ah, number one. Good evening, Mr. Kenshaw.
Is this where Mr. Hardecker lives? My name is Lambert.
Mr. Hardecker? Mr. Lambert.
Number two.
My name is Prendergast. I think I...
Mr. Hardecker? Mr. Prendergast.
Number three.
Mackenzie's the name.
Mr. Hardecker? Mr. Mackenzie.
Number four. One, two, three, four. So you're all here, gentlemen?
Yes.
Then suppose we go into dinner, and after dinner I shall tell you why you are here, what I have in mind. In fact, I shall tell you in the form of a story, a sort of after-dinner story.
Sort of.
All right. That's a great cup of coffee. I enjoyed it.
You pass that, please.
Well, gentlemen, did you enjoy your dinner?
Yeah, it was swell.
Now then, if you'll excuse me for just a moment, I have certain instructions to give the servants, and after that I shall rejoin you. I shan't be long.
Certainly. Well, what did that crack mean? Certain instructions to the servants.
How should I know? I don't like the looks of the whole thing. Why all the mystery?
Well, I suggest that you have patience, Mr. Prendergast. Mr. Hardecker clearly intends to tell us in his own good time.
Yeah. And another thing. I don't eat in those fancy Park Avenue joints as a rule myself, but I've seen them in the movies. They always pass the food around to everybody. They don't bring it out of the kitchen already on your plate and just hand it to you.
Well, what possible difference can that make?
Well, I don't know, but I know it ain't right.
No, none of it's right. Why does a man invite four perfect strangers to dinner? What is this thing he has in mind for us he keeps talking about?
Well, all I know, he says he'll make it worth our while, and I can use a little of that worth your while stuff the way business has been lately.
Obviously, the connection between us is that we were all in that elevator a year ago. Oh, what of it? There's no mystery about that. The police cleared that up the very next day. Maybe Mr. Hardecker doesn't think so.
Sorry to have kept you, gentlemen. Now, suppose we get down to business.
Mr. Hardecker, none of us wish to seem rude, but we were just wondering what this business is all about.
You had come to the obvious conclusion, of course, that it has to do with my son.
Well, yeah. I don't see why we're all sorry, naturally, but that's all over and done with.
Yes,
And
almost. But there are one or two little details that I thought you gentlemen might help me to clarify.
Oh, sure. Oh, well.
Fine. Well, then, if you don't mind, I know you must remember most of it, but it's almost a year ago. I'd like to go over the whole story from the beginning.
Well, that's all right.
Well, it was just before 5 in the afternoon on August 30th of last year when the matter which concerns us here this evening had its beginning. And on that day, and at that time, all four of you, perfect strangers, who had never seen each other before in your lives, found yourselves, for personal and business reasons of your own, on various floors of the Norfolk building in Midtown Manhattan, waiting for the express elevator to take you to the lobby. The first passengers were on the 21st floor.
21, going down, please. Express car, going down.
There are now 3 men in the elevator. The operator, Mr. Kenshaw and Mr. Lambert, who had gotten on at the 21st floor.
18, going down, please. Face the doors, please. Going down.
Now there are 5 men in the car. Mr. Prendergast and Mr. Mackenzie had entered the elevator at the 18th floor.
15, express car to the lobby. Going down, please.
Say hello to Eleanor for me.
You bet. Bye, Dad.
Bye.
6 men in the elevator. The last to enter, I had accompanied to the elevator door myself. He was my son.
These things drop pretty fast. Too fast for me.
Hey, this baby is moving. Hey, look! We can't stop it. We're out of control!
Stop it. Look out, we're going to hit.
Oh, get off.
Stop it. Try to. Do something.
Anybody got a match?
I think my leg's broken.
Get me out of here. I got a wife and kids. Somebody get me out of here. Get me out of here.
Shut up a minute, can't you?
Dark.
You're not the only one with a wife and kids. Has anybody got a match? We've got to get this door open.
Yeah. I don't have it.
We're liable to suffocate in here. These things are practically airtight. Where's the operator?
Operator, he's over here. I can feel the braid on his coat against my hand.
Oh. Hey, what about it, Bud? You've got a match so I can see what I'm doing here? Hey, operator.
He's dead.
Dead? Why doesn't somebody come? What's the matter with him? Why did they come?
Pipe down, will you? Pipe down. There, I got it. Now we'll get a little air anyway. Oh, there's a light up there somewhere. Yeah, I can hear voices. There, you hear them?
Help! Help!
Say, there's no use yelling your head off. They know we're down here. Yeah.
I wish my leg didn't hurt so bad.
Oh, let's see. Try wrapping your shirt around it tight. May stop some of the pain.
Thanks.
Yeah, easy.
Now what?
Nothing. Just sit and wait. That's all.
Why don't they hurry? What are they waiting for? Why don't they hurry?
Take it easy. Take it easy. You could be worse off.
Worse off?
Yeah. Like this poor guy, the operator. He's dead.
And so you waited. 6 men, 5 living, 1 dead. I know how it must have been for all of you, the minutes dragging by, there in the darkness, with nothing to do but wait.
How's your leg?
Better. How long do you suppose we've been down here?
Well, it's hard to tell.
Maybe they think we're all dead. Maybe they're just taking their time.
Don't worry. They heard you hollering all
But
right.
Gee, the poor guy. I wonder if he had any kids.
The operator? Yeah.
I often wondered sometimes what would happen if one of these things ever slipped.
Well, now you know. I'll never ride in one again.
So he's going to walk up 68 stories to the Rainbow Room.
I don't go to the Rainbow Room.
Oh, I'm certainly glad my father didn't get on this car with me. He was going to, but he changed his mind.
Wish I'd changed my mind. You know, if I hadn't gone back to make a phone call, I'd have been on another car.
What's the use of wishing? Okay. It's happened, and here we are.
Listen, there they are.
They're going to get us out.
Yeah. Hello. Hello up there.
Yeah, we're coming to you. Take it easy.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Anybody hurt?
Yeah, one guy's dead.
We'll be through to you in a minute. Okay, Riley, let her down now.
Look at that light up there.
Acetylene torches. Yeah. They're going to cut a hole in the roof.
What a racket.
Oh, I'm nearly deaf already.
Listen, you guys. We're coming through, see? Watch out for sparks. Shut your eyes and stand back against the wall.
Okay.
I never knew those things made so much noise.
It's because we're closed in.
What was that?
I don't know.
I thought I heard somebody holler.
Yeah, so did I.
Must have been one of those guys up above.
Those sparks are enough to blind you. Well, don't look at them. They will blind you.
One went right by in front of my face, right across the car.
They couldn't have. They're dropping down.
Did you see it? It was awful bright.
Oh, just a reflection. Don't look at it.
I guess they got it cut through.
Phew, yeah. I couldn't have stood much more of that.
They're pulling off the top. It won't be long now.
All right. Stand clear down there. I'm going to jump down.
Hey, cop.
And no cop ever looked lovelier.
All right. Pass them ropes down now. Okay, hold it. All right. Who's first now? Who's the worst hurt of you all? How about this fella?
Now, that's the operator. He's dead.
Hey, look. Those other two guys have both passed out.
Yeah, shocking, yes.
Officer, I've got to get out of here. I feel pretty bad.
Hey, hold your horses. There's nothing wrong with you.
But
That man's got a broken leg there.
Who's got a broken leg?
I have, I think.
All right. Can you sit in this rope sling here?
I'll try.
Now, hang on with both your hands.
I'll be all right.
Okay. Pull him up.
Well, so long, fellas.
Take care of that leg.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks. My name's Lambert.
And mine's Mackenzie. Maybe we'll run into each other sometime.
Yeah. Well, so long.
All right, let me have that rope now. Well, who's next now?
Well, maybe you better take those two guys that passed out. They might be hurt.
Why, sure. How about this young fella?
Sure. He got a little blood on him, hasn't he?
He has that.
glass from the light fixtures, I guess.
Well, I don't think it's serious.
You don't, eh?
No, he seemed to be all right.
Well, whatever he seemed to be, he's not now. This man is dead.
Dead? Oh, but he can't be.
Look here, my lad, you don't seem to realize that you've come through a pretty serious accident.
I know, but he can't be dead. We heard him talking just a few minutes ago. Isn't that right?
Yes, I heard him.
Well, sure. He was talking to us here in the dock. He said something about being glad his father wasn't on this
I
elevator.
can't help what he said or what you heard him say. This man is dead.
My son, who had survived the original accident without apparent injury, was dead. You gentlemen were more fortunate. You lived. 5 days later, you four met again. It was at police headquarters. About 2:30 on a Friday afternoon. The last to arrive was Mr. Lambert.
In here, Mr. Lambert.
Thanks.
Hello there. Hey, how's the leg?
Pretty good.
Mr. Lambert?
That's right.
I'm Chief Inspector McMahon.
How do?
You'll just take a seat there. Yes, sir. Well, we all here now? Mr. Kenshaw, Mr. Prendergast, Mr. McKenzie, That's me. Mr. Lambert.
Yes, sir.
Well, now, as I told each of you over the phone, I won't keep you very long. I just wanted to ask a few routine questions about that business of the elevator the other day. Well, what's the matter? Something phony about it? Not for our money. It's an open and shut case. Suicide. Suicide?
Yeah. You mean the operator wanted to bump himself off so he could...
No, not the operator. He died of a fractured skull. It's young Hardiker we're interested in. His father's been raising a row, so we said we'd investigate, but...
I still don't get it.
Wesley Hardiker was killed by a .32 caliber bullet through the heart.
You couldn't have. You mean he killed himself right in that car with all of us?
What else? He wasn't shot when he walked in, and he was dead when we brought him out. Unless one of you killed him.
Whoa.
Well, now, any of you
That makes
know
total
him?
sense.
No. Well, then there you are. Even the father had to admit that as far as he knew, his son had never seen any of you before in his life.
But it don't make sense.
What don't make sense?
Well, I mean, a guy shooting himself in an elevator with 4 other people that nobody didn't even know it.
Did any of you hear the shot? Not before they started the blowtorches. I could swear to that. Couldn't have heard one anyway. Yeah, you see?
Hey, wait a minute.
Did you hear something?
No. But Mackenzie, remember I said when I was laying on the floor of the elevator that I thought I saw a spark from one of those blowtorches that went across the car instead of falling down?
That's right. Anybody else see it?
The blowtorches were absolutely blinding. You couldn't see a...
How about you, Mr. Kenshaw?
I'm afraid that I fainted or something silly like that. I'm not a very strong person.
Well, it was probably the gunshot, all right. Nothing very mysterious about it. The gun belonged to young Hardiker, licensed in his name, and had only his own fingerprints on it.
Well, maybe I shouldn't ask, but why did he do it?
The official verdict is suicide while of unsound mind. He seemed all right. He talked to us perfectly sensibly just before it happened.
Just goes to show. You never can tell, can you?
Oh, he'd always been nervous and highly strung. We got that out of his father. The strain of being down in that black pit was just too much for him, that's all.
Oh, what a terrible thing. To break down just as we were about to be rescued.
Yeah, it was too bad. Boys seem to have everything to live for, too. But we find that sort of thing all the time.
The
Do
noise,
you?
I suppose. I've read of cases of nervous breakdown caused by noise.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I guess I don't need to keep you gentlemen any longer.
Well, I'm certainly
Cop
glad
is
there
very
were no
dismissive.
complications.
Oh, don't worry. If one of you had anything to do with it, you'd be back in the cell right now.
That was almost a year ago. Last week, each of you received a phone call from me. I can well understand and sympathize with the fact that you were somewhat astonished, perhaps a little suspicious of what you heard. I don't doubt that most of you debated at some length in your minds the advisability of accepting my invitation at all. You, for instance, Mr. Mackenzie, you are married, as I remember. I imagine that you talked quite seriously with your wife about the whole affair. I phoned your home, I believe, at about 8:30 last Monday evening.
Yes? This is Mr. Mackenzie speaking. Well, I'm sorry, but I don't seem to place you. Oh, of course, Mr. Hardiker. Well, frankly, I don't see the point. You don't know me, and I don't know you. Yeah.
Should have been put on before.
Well, all right, Mr. Hardiker. I'll be there. That's a funny name.
Who was it, dear?
His name is Hardiker. The father of that boy who killed himself in the elevator last year.
Oh? Well, what does he want?
He wants me to come to dinner with him on Saturday at his home.
Why, how lovely. He's a very important man, isn't he? Did he ask both of us?
No. As a matter of fact, he's asking the four men who were in that elevator with his son when he died.
What a strange idea. Seems sort of gruesome to me.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Didn't he say anything?
Oh, he said quite a lot.
Well, what did he say?
I was just thinking.
Oh, now, please, Stephen, don't sit there and be so tantalizing. What did he say?
Well, he said something about his son's estate. Seems his son had quite a lot of money in his own right. The old man said he didn't need it, and there weren't any other relations, and... Well, he sort of hinted that he thought it might be a good idea to split it up between the four men who were with his son in his last moments of life, as he put it.
Why, Stephen, how wonderful. Why aren't you excited? How much is it? Do you suppose it's a lot of money?
I don't know.
Why, it might be several $1,000s. It might be several $100,000. Oh, Stephen, what's the matter with you?
Well, just such a crazy thing to do, that's all.
Don't see that makes any difference. If a man wants to do a nice, kind, generous thing.
Look, honey, if it was generosity, he'd give it to charity. If it was a sort of memorial to his son, he'd set up a scholarship or build a hospital or something.
Well...
The old man was pretty broken up about it when it happened. I remember reading something about his being in a sanitarium for a while afterwards. And he never did believe the verdict of suicide. The police as much as told us that at the time. How do I know he doesn't think one of us killed the boy?
Oh, that's absurd.
All right. But anybody who's crazy enough to divide up a wad of dough between four perfect strangers is crazy enough to think a perfect stranger killed his son.
Oh, why, that...
Maybe he thinks we all did it. Maybe he's wacky and has some crazy idea about revenge and is going to use the dough as bait to get us all together.
I hadn't thought of it like that. Perhaps you ought not to go.
I already said I would. Oh, anyway, maybe it's on the
Can't say I can now.
Stephen, do you still have that gun you used to have when you worked at the bank?
Yeah, I have it there.
I think you ought to take it with you Saturday night.
Honey, I think you've got something there. I think that's a very good idea.
And so, gentlemen, I'm quite gratified that you all saw fit to accept my rather unique invitation, and that we are all here together this evening. By the way, Mr. Mackenzie, I'm afraid I must ask you to give me that gun that you brought along.
So that's it.
And, Mr. Mackenzie, you will notice that one of my servants who is standing in the door directly behind you has got you covered, is the phrase, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
How did you know?
Why, the butler sort of patted all your pockets when he removed your coats, but aside from that, I've spent most of my waking hours during the past year looking into the backgrounds of all you gentlemen.
So I was right about this setup after all.
Now, look here, Mr. Hardecker. I came here tonight in perfectly good faith. I even canceled a very important business appointment.
With Mr. Joseph Donahue of Celluloid Products.
Yeah.
All right, let's cut out the mystery. What's this all about?
Yes, really, what's the idea?
Now, wait a minute. One moment, gentlemen, one moment.
But,
I didn't ask you up here under false pretenses. I fully intend to divide my son's estate precisely as I suggested over the phone. I sincerely hope you don't resent my investigation of your backgrounds.
Well, gee, Mr. Hardecker, my background isn't much, I guess, but...
Perhaps we all owe you an apology, Mr. Hardecker, but you must admit the whole thing's been a little strange.
It has indeed been very strange. I think, however, that phase of the matter is about over. Now, before we get down to business, there is one detail that I'd like you to help clear me up.
Sure, we'll be glad.
Shall I bring it in now, sir?
If you please. Is it well mixed?
Yes, sir.
In the center of the table. Thank you, Johnson. Now, please see that we are not disturbed on any account whatsoever.
Yes, sir.
Say, that looks good. What is it?
Oh, it's got quite a number of things in it. White of egg, mustard, milk.
It sounds like an antidote for poison.
It is an antidote for poison.
What?
Gentlemen, there is a murderer in this room.
But
One of you killed my son and hasn't paid for it yet.
Oh, don't be a fool. The coroner's verdict was suicide.
This
The police...
is not a discussion, Mr. Mackenzie. This is an execution.
I'm getting out of here.
There is a man with a gun outside each door. You'll find them very unreceptive to that idea, Mr. Prendergast.
Sit down. He's got us.
Well,
The only thing we can do is try to talk a little sense into
I'm
it.
not open to arguments, Mr. Mackenzie. One of you killed my son. I know who that man is. It's taken me a year to find out, but I now know. The food that man ate tonight was poison.
yeah, no, but
In
Poison?
10 minutes, he'll drop dead.
you can't take the law into your own hands that way.
Unfortunately, the law demands a very specific type of evidence. The police, whom I consulted repeatedly, do not believe it possible to get a conviction on the evidence I have. And therefore, the conviction must come tonight.
Wait, you wouldn't dare. You couldn't kill a man in cold blood that way.
There is an alternative, Mr. Prendergast. It is there in the center of the table. The antidote.
Oh.
The murderer may either confess his crime by drinking the contents of that bowl, or he may keep silent and go to his death here tonight. Privately executed for what cannot be publicly proved.
But they could send you to the chair for that.
I am quite aware of that contingency, Mr. Crenshaw, and quite willing to accept the consequences. But the murderer will have gone to his death before me.
But how do we know you poisoned the right?
The murderer knows, Mr. Prendergast. The rest need have no fear.
hey, I think the guy's crazy. Maybe he poisoned all of us.
Look, Mr. Hardiker, this whole thing is insane. Nobody killed your son.
As to that, we shall shortly see, Mr. Mackenzie. The man who killed my son has approximately 7 minutes to live.
7 minutes? It's me. I know it's me he's poisoned. My whole insides are on fire. It's me he's
Don't
poisoned.
fall for it unless you're sure. Whole thing may be a gag.
I assure you, nothing has ever been more serious, Mr. Mackenzie.
You know, I don't feel so good myself.
Neither do I. Probably just indigestion. After dinner story like this is enough to give indigestion to a horse.
No kidding. Hey, supposing this guy's a maniac. Suppose he just made it all up in his own head and poisoned all of us.
Listen, Mr. Hardiker. Let me just tell you this.
I come out of this alive, I'm going to beat your brains out if it's the last thing I do.
I can't stand it. Mr. Heidegger, I didn't do it. I swear I didn't. I didn't do it. I didn't. Shut up, Pendergast.
5 more minutes.
Hey, I feel awful. Maybe we all ought to take some of that stuff, just in case.
Yeah, that's it. We'll all take it.
Yeah? Who'll take it first?
Unfortunately, gentlemen, there's only enough antidote for one.
Even if you're right, Hardiger, this is no way to do.
This is my way.
You're crazy, I tell you, crazy.
Perhaps. Have you a son?
Kenshaw.
Will it save me?
Well, gentlemen, now you know.
All right. All right, what do I care? I killed him. And I do it again. I hated him. Hated him. All my life. In school, in college, he never even knew that I existed. He was too good for someone like me. And he had everything. Money, everything. Then he married the girl that I loved. She didn't know how I felt. I never told her. And then
Well, whose fault is that?
pneumonia, they said. She wouldn't have died if she hadn't married him. So I killed him. I saw him get into the elevator. And then it failed. It fell. It was as though God had delivered it into my hand. It came to me there in the dark. I choked him. I choked him, and then he got out his gun, and I put my hand over his, and I turned it against him and fired. But I'm glad. I'm glad.
Look, help him, somebody, help him.
Here, hold up his head. Here.
Never mind. He's dead.
It didn't work in time.
You killed him, Hardiker.
No, I didn't.
I tell you, he's dead.
Yes, I know. But what he drank was not the antidote. It was the poison.
Poison?
You see, I didn't exactly know which of you killed my son. I only knew that one of you must have. And so Robert Kenshaw convicted himself in front of all of you and was his own executioner.
Well, then, he was never poisoned at all until...
Until he drank the contents of that bowl.
Gee.
I shall divide the estate, gentlemen, as I promised. Meanwhile, you may call the police if you like. Let the law and divine providence decide whether this man died by my hand or by the guilt that lay upon his own soul.
Interesting episode.
And so closes After Dinner Story by Cornell Woolrich, starring Otto Kruger. Tonight's tale of suspense. This is the Man in Black, who conveys to you Columbia's invitation to spend this half hour in suspense with us again next week, same time, when our star will be Gene Lockhart in the suspense play called Statement of Employee Henry Wilson. The producer of Suspense is William Spear, who tonight also directed the broadcast, and who with Lud Gluskin and Lucian Morawick, conductor and composer, and Robert L. Richards, the radio author, collaborated on tonight's Suspense.
Make a note on your calendar that beginning December 2nd, Suspense will come to you on Thursday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern Wartime, 7 p.m. Central Wartime, and 6 p.m. Mountain Wartime. Remember, Suspense will be heard on Thursday nights beginning December 2nd. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Suspense. This is the Man in Black, here again to introduce Columbia's program, Suspense. With us in Hollywood tonight as star is Mr. Gene Lockhart, whose remarkable characterizations on the screen have won him a notable following with American audiences. It is with rueful satisfaction, but with satisfaction nonetheless, that the genial Mr. Lockhart contemplates his reputation. Because of his cinematic misdoings, his numberless treacheries, betrayals, and cowardly villainies, he is one of the most hated men in the country today. Our story this evening by John Shaw is called Statement of Employee Henry Wilson. And so with the performance of Gene Lockhart, as he relates and relives the events of the climactic moment in Henry Wilson's life, we again hope to keep you in suspense.
I was aware that I was trembling. I tried walking slowly back and forth in front of the desk, but even in motion, my knees felt weak and my whole body shook. Why was it always I who trembled, and never this pompous insect sitting in front of me? His voice was cool and mocking. His voice was clear and hard.
Well, I sympathize with you, of course, Wilson. But the error must be brought to Mr. Larkin's attention. It is quite a big mistake, though. Quite a costly mistake. Mr. Larkin must know.
He wouldn't cover it up. I knew that. 2 years ago, this man had come with the firm. For 8 years before that, I had worked there, enjoying the work, liking the people. And then he had come there. Have you ever stood quietly by and watched someone rob your house and steal your pocketbook? I was helpless. He was ambitious. He was clever. He was fluent. And as of tonight, I was his subordinate. 2 years against 10 years. Around the office, I had a reputation of being casual and carefree. But I hated this man. Every inch of me hated this man. And it was not a new hatred.
Of course, there is no question of your honesty.
His voice was patronizing. The patient teacher and the unruly pupil. I hated him. He smiled up at me and waved his hand in dismissal. He almost brushed a small iron vase off the top of the desk with the gesture. I had seen that vase so often, but I had never seen it out of the eyes that I was looking at it with now.
Good night, Wilson.
Good night, I said. Good night, clever boy. I walked out into the corridor and rang for the elevator.
Terrible night, ain't it, Mr. Wilson?
I heard the boy
Yes, sir,
talking,
these elevators
like
are
he was
vast,
yelling
too.
at me from some distant mountain.
Vast. I wish my
He was
numbers
talking
were
and I was answering, but what either one of us was saying, I didn't know. I was thinking of something else. I looked at my watch as I stepped out of the car. It was 11:30 already. I mentioned it.
You've had a long day today, Mr. Wilson.
Those were the first words of the boy that I heard clearly, very clearly. Yes, I told him. Oh, plenty of overtime this week. I stood and looked at him for a moment. Mr. Dodds is still in the office. You might drop in and see if he wants anything. I think he'd be very grateful.
I will, sir. I certainly will. It'll help to pass the time, sir. I don't like to complain, but these nights pass awful slow sometimes.
Yes. Go up and see if he wants anything. Go up and see. I walked out of the lobby and came back into the building again when the boy had gotten into the elevator. 4 flights up. I took the stairs slowly. I was in no rush. I must let the boy get out of the room first. He said the nights passed slowly. This one wouldn't, and yet there would be an eternity compressed in it. When I got to the 4th floor, I stood at the top of the stairs and watched the door to Dodd's office. The elevator was parked at the floor, so I knew the boy was in the room. A short while later, he came out, and I crouched back in the shadows until he'd gone down in the car. And then I walked into the room, not in a crouch or moving my feet so that no sound would wake the stillness, but casually, honestly. There was a small waiting room to Mr. Dodd's office. In 2 years, he had a waiting room. In 10, I had none. I felt like laughing at the symbolism of that fact.
Who's there?
I called out my name and entered his office.
Yes, what is it, Wilson?
He was still sitting down, and the iron vase was still alongside of him, very close to him. I started to talk. I don't know what about, business, things in general, I've quite forgotten. I reached across and picked up the iron vase casually, very casually. But his eyes went wild suddenly, and he jumped. And I hit him square on the top of the head with the vase. It wasn't a very good shot. I had no leverage. But he started to slump back in the chair. I hit him again, hard, and again and again. And a red streak ran across his forehead, and he lay still. I put my hand against his heart. For a moment, there was a soft beating, and then I could feel nothing. I was very calm and very warm. I was calmer than I'd ever been before. I wiped off the vase and put it back onto the desk. I ran through the papers that Dodds had been looking at until I found the one paper I was looking for. I ripped it into little bits, and I put the pieces into my pocket. Outside the building, my first act would be to scatter the pieces. I'd cover my mistake myself. I moved slowly back to the door. I wiped the doorknob and looked once around the room before I opened the door and stepped out into the waiting room. And then...
Going home, Mr. Wilson?
I stood there, afraid to turn, afraid to think. I slammed the door shut behind me and stood in front of it.
Are you all right, Mr. Wilson?
I tried to talk, but the words got caught somewhere in my throat. It was the sweeper, Tom Higby, the night sweeper. I almost fainted. Everything had been set so nicely. I'd left the building. The elevator boy had come up and found Dodds in good health. Someone had stolen in later and killed him. That would be the elevator boy's story. If suspicion attached to anyone, it would be to the boy. I had left the building. But now, this.
Are you all right, Mr. Wilson?
I'm fine,
Are
Tom.
you all right?
Cold, that's all. A weakens one. How are the wife and kids?
Fine, fine.
The shock was wearing off. Mr. Dodds is in his room now, Tom, working very late tonight. You'd better, let his office go for this once.
Well, if you say so, Mr. Wilson. I could give it a quick brush, though, sir. I wouldn't disturb him none.
I stood firm in front of the door. For a moment, I wondered if he'd seen anything when I'd come out of the room. It was possible. He could have looked over my shoulder. No. No, he hadn't seen anything. He began to sweep the sitting room, and I stood and watched him. I couldn't let him get out of here. I'd go to the chair if he told me about being there. And I couldn't kill him, too. Oh, what a quick step it had been back to normal. I was nervous again, and I felt a sickness at the bottom of my stomach. I tried to talk, and I sounded stupid. Tom looked at me. I wouldn't have to touch him. It would be his word against mine, and I had left the building.
Reminds me in Red Dead Redemption 2, where you shoot someone and someone comes out of nowhere and sees it.
From that thing at the desk. I remember that he'd kept a bottle in one of the drawers, and I took it and brought it out to the sitting room with me. Oh, Tom, Mr. Dodds has a birthday tomorrow, and he wonders if you'll drink his health with me.
Well, I don't think you better take any tonight.
Mr. Dodds has a birthday. Sometime tomorrow he'll be a day old in the next world. Tom was famous for his liquor habits, but he hesitated.
Well, now...
I poured the drinks.
I don't think you better have...
Up with it, Tom, and down with it. And here's to Mr. Dodds.
Well, all right. Here's kindness.
He drank one. He drank another. He drank a third. And still I poured them into him. He got talkative and grew very gay. But he didn't pass out. I looked at my watch. It was almost 12:30. 1 whole hour I'd wasted with him. I could stand no more. He was drunk. Any test would show that. His story tomorrow would be listed as a drunkard's babble. I had left the building an hour ago. I couldn't afford to waste any more time. I walked behind him, and he was laughing. And I hit...
What happened? What happened? Dun, dun, dun. What? What's going on?
I tried to talk, but the grew very gay. But he didn't pass out.
There we go.
I looked at my watch. It was almost 12:30. One whole... I called the building and got the elevator boy on the phone.
Hello there. Hello, Jim. Oh, this is Mr. Wilson, Jim. Has Mr. Dodds left yet?
The voice that answered me was sleepy, and the words were hard to make out. But I knew all the answers.
Well, listen closely, Jim. Will you tell him that the address of the place we were talking about is 144 Gray Street? Yes, yes, that's right. Oh, he'll know what I mean. Will you go up and tell him now, Jim? All right. Thanks a lot, Jim.
I was sure the sweeper would be discovered in the room with Dodds. The address was a Turkish bath. It was logical. A man working all night might want to go to a Turkish bath afterwards. Jim would walk in now, and heaven only knew what came next. The sweeper would be caught like a rat in a trap, drunk, and with a murdered man sitting across from him. I walked home through streets that crushed me in their shadows, between walls that whispered at me as I passed. I sat up in my room for hours listening to the sounds Manhattan makes in the night. And finally, I fell asleep. And I sat, and I slept, and I dreamed until sunrise. I woke with a start. I was shaking like some miserable wet cur. I took a drink and tried breathing deeply. Somewhere I'd read that deep breathing killed that scared feeling. What in blazes was I frightened about? I was safe. I was completely safe. But when I left the house, I was still shaking. I walked all around the block that the building was on before I went inside. It looked like any other morning. On the floor where my office was, I saw a policeman. And then another. And then my world was surrounded by a ring of police and plainclothes men. I must watch my nerves. I must move carefully, very carefully. None of them paid any more attention to me than they did to any of the others. They assembled all of us in the president's office, and then one of them, a sharp, alert young man, began to talk.
Last night, please. Last night, an attempt was made on the life of one of your associates, Mr. Charles Dodds.
A murmur ran around the room. I was talking with the rest, being surprised with the rest. But what did he mean, an attempt? Dodds had been dead. Or had he...
Fortunately, however, the attack was not successful. And Mr. Dodds has supplied us with some rather unbelievable information. Information which
I tried to hold myself. I felt faint suddenly, and then something happened inside me, and I did not break. It was a trick. It was a trick, I was sure of it. The detective stared at us, running his eyes across our faces, across my face, searching, staring, and then he shrugged his shoulders.
Well, as a matter of fact, Mr. Dodds was killed. And another man you might know also died last night. Mr. Thomas Higbee, the night sweeper.
Higbee? Dead too? Again, that rustle of voices, that droning conversation that I was part of. Some of them had known Higbee, liked him. I hadn't meant to kill him. Could there be some mistake? I wanted to ask one of these men, was there some mistake? I hadn't meant to kill him.
Mr. Dodds was clubbed to death. The night sweeper died of a heart attack. Nothing more is known as yet about what happened here last night.
You must all consider yourselves at the disposal of the police, till you're told otherwise. Now, if you...
Blast them. Why didn't they say something? They were lying to these people. Nothing more was known. That's nonsense. Why, it was all there for them to see. It told its own story. Higby had killed Dodds. Poor, harmless little Higby had killed that big, famous executive. And now...
Mr. Wilson, will you come this way, please? Just a little routine questioning, that's all. Everybody here will have to undergo it.
I must watch myself. I must go very slowly.
Sit here, won't you, Mr. Wilson? Now, do you remember what time you left the office last night?
Yes, it was 11:30. I remember mentioning it to the elevator boy.
Uh-huh. And what time did you get home?
Oh, somewhere about 12:30, I guess. Yes, just about that time.
Is there anybody who would swear to that?
Well, the elevator boy...
Oh, I don't mean that. Is there anyone who saw you go into your house at 12:30?
I hardly think so. At that time, the streets aren't too well populated, you know, officer, and I live in a house where people mind their own business. I really don't know anybody in the house, and I doubt if anybody saw me go into it. But you can check with the elevator boy, though, as to my going home at 11:30, because...
Yes, we have already. You weren't on the best of terms with Dodds, were you, Wilson?
Oh, I was fond of him. But I don't know what right you have to say a thing like that.
Well, he kind of did you out of a job around here, didn't he?
Oh, he was a smart man. Mr. Dodds was an exceptionally smart man. It was not at all a disgrace to lose a position to him. When I left him last night, he was in excellent health. And if I killed a man every time I had a job taken away from me, I'd have quite a long line of victims behind me. Of course, I'm just joking, you know.
You made a phone call to him last night, didn't you?
Yes, to the elevator boy. I remember suggesting that he go to a Turkish bath after he'd finished work to sort of tone up. They're very good, you know. And I mentioned that I knew a very good one that I could recommend. And then when he asked me the name of it, I couldn't think of the address of the place, and I thought of it later, though, and I phoned the building.
Where'd you phone from?
From a little place in the neighborhood.
And about what time did you phone?
Well, it was about 12:25, I guess. I was getting a little mixed up. It couldn't have been then. I was still in the building at 12:30. They were confusing me.
You called at exactly 12:55. So you must have miscalculated the time of your arrival at home. However, that isn't important. None of us is expected to time ourselves from place to place, are we? When we find too good an alibi, we get kind of suspicious. Well,
Too good of an alibi. Okay.
Mr. Wilson.
Thank you. He asked me to send somebody in to see him as I went out. I forget who it was. I was thinking very hard. I went into my office and sat down. So easy. Was it possible the whole thing was over? And so easily?
Hello there, Wilson. Very sad, this business. Very sad.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Larkin.
But we must go on. Mr. Dodds would want it that way.
Yes, sir, he would.
It's a responsible job he had, Wilson. But you've been with us long enough to know that.
Yes, sir.
Do you think you can handle it?
Well, sir, yes, sir, I think I can.
Good. Get your stuff together and take over Dodd's old office. You deserve this, Wilson. And I'm sure you'll reward our confidence in you.
Well, thank you very much, sir. Of course, I hardly expected...
On second thought, I think you'd better go into his office right away and sort of straighten out some of the things on his desk. I'll have one of the boys bring your things in later.
Very well, sir.
Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, murder scene. I don't know if they could just let him go right in.
Before last night, they were all in a spot now. They needed poor, stupid Wilson. They needed me to get them out of a hole. The further the thing went, the funnier it got. Books were wrong about virtue and good counting for anything. To get ahead, you either married the boss's daughter or killed the boss. I took a pencil and a small notebook and went out into the corridor. I stood for a moment outside Dodd's office, just like last night, and then I pushed the door open, slowly. The sitting room, and then the door to the office. I opened it and walked inside. I heard the door close softly behind me, and I stood there, smelling the death in the air. And then, I saw it. I saw it. I tried to yell, but I couldn't get the words out. There in front of me, sitting in the chair, where I'd propped him last night, was Tom Higby, his eyes open, his expression blank and staring, and at his feet was the bottle and the vase, the same bottle, the same vase. Dodds was all that was missing. I turned and I bolted into the hall.
Higby. Well, what's the matter, Wilson? You look like you'd seen a ghost.
In the office. In the office. Higby.
Higby? Why, Higby's dead, man. What's the matter?
Mr. Larkin. Where's Mr. Larkin?
Why, here I am, Wilson. What's the matter?
In the office. In the office.
What? Why, nothing's the matter in here. I don't...
I walked in after him. There was nothing there. Nothing. No Higby. No bottle. No vase. But I saw them. I saw them. Oh, was I going crazy? Was I beginning to go mad? I felt Larkin's pat on my shoulder. He murmured something about everybody being a little touchy, a little jumpy. And then he left. And I was alone in the room. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. I stood. I stared at the desk and at the chair. No one was there. No one could have been there. I must watch myself. What?
Oh, I beg your pardon.
Oh, not at all.
I seem to be in the wrong room. I'm Mrs. Charles Dodds.
Oh.
I'm looking for that young detective. He doesn't seem to be out here.
Well, I believe he's in the end room questioning the employees.
Well, then I don't suppose he'll be able to see me for a little while. Do you mind if I wait here for him?
Well,
Thank you so much.
Excuse me for a second. Charlie, will you tell the detective that Mrs. Dodds is waiting for him in my new office? Oh, you've already seated yourself. I was going to suggest that perhaps this seat might... She was sitting in his chair. There was blood in that chair.
This is quite all right, thank you. Charles would have liked to see the way everybody's taking his death. Everyone is so kind to me.
Mr. Dodds was a fine man. A fine man.
You're Mr. Wilson, aren't you? He used to talk about you. Thought you were a very bright person. He seemed very fond of you. I don't know how I'll be able to go on without him.
Mrs. Dodds, you mustn't. You mustn't.
I'm sorry. He wouldn't like to see me carrying on like this, would he? We were going to buy a home in Westchester this summer. Did he ever tell you that? Yes. Just outside Yonkers. We have two lovely little ones, Toby and little Mary. He loved the New York State countryside. We talked so much about it.
On she rambled. He liked this. He didn't like that. The children, Toby and little Mary. Toby and little Mary, she was driving me crazy. Stop it, I wanted to yell. Get out of here and leave me in peace. Get out of here, you witch. Get out. Get out.
Mrs. Dodds, Detective Lewis would like to see you now.
Thank you for everything, Mr. Wilson. And goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye, and get out. And leave me alone. I hadn't meant to do anything like that. I hadn't wanted to do any of the things I was doing. All I'd wanted to do was to kill Dodds. All these other things, they weren't mine. I hadn't killed Higby. He can't haunt me. His wife can't cry at me. Heart attack. That's it. Higby died of a heart attack.
I beg your pardon, sir. Have you seen Mrs. Higby? The detective is looking for her.
How would I see her? Am I everybody's guardian? How can anybody get lost in this office?
Sorry, sir. Mrs. Higby? Mrs. Higby?
Stop it, you
Mrs.
fool.
Higby!
You howling idiot. Can't you be looked for quietly? You will drag Higby from his grave with your yelling.
2 widows.
What?
You manufacture
What?
widows, don't you, Mr. Wilson? Widows and orphans. Tell me, Mr. Wilson, is it your life's work or is it just a hobby with you? Tell me, Mr. Wilson.
Who is that? Who is that talking? Do they think they can make a fool of me? The office communication. It's off.
Oh, stop it, Mr. Wilson. You'll go balmy.
Oh.
You've committed the perfect crime. Don't go crazy and spoil it.
No.
Perfection is instinctive with you, isn't it?
Yes.
Not a plan did you make. Spontaneous perfection.
Yes.
There aren't many could do that.
Go on. Go on. Voices can't frighten me. They deserve to die. And that's why they're dead.
Thou shalt not kill, Mr. Wilson. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not kill.
Not Higby. I didn't kill him. His heart stopped. Do you hear me? That's all. I didn't kill him. Now you voices stop. Do you hear me? Stop it, I command. Stop it.
Is something wrong, Mr. Wilson?
What do you mean, is there something wrong? Do you hear them too? Well, you mustn't listen. They lie. Do you hear me? They lie. Now get out. Get out. Get out. You must talk only to me. You understand me? Only to me. Not to these others. Don't say anything to them. Only to me. Only to me. Well, what do you want?
Well, I don't know.
You think they'll say something bad about me, don't you? So you can carry me off to jail. That's what you're waiting for.
I don't
Well, you're going
know.
to be disappointed. You see, they're quiet.
What's quiet?
Yeah, who's quiet?
You think I'm going to tell you? They won't say anything unless I tell them to, and I'm not going to tell them to say anything, not one little word. Last night you wanted to know all about last night. Well, you asked them, but they won't tell you.
Look at the expression on that face. Look at him, Lieutenant.
They were there. They saw me hit him, but they won't say anything. They were there, but they won't tell you a thing, not one little word, not a
He's
single
a
thing.
gibbering idiot.
Because I'm not going to
I
let them.
shouldn't have let you
They won't
monkey
feel
around.
that.
We could have gotten it out of him some other way. You and your psychology. You know, you
Yes.
should leave that stuff in colleges.
All I did was plant Higby in the office and route Mrs. Dodson here and talked into the ventilating system.
Yeah, those voices had me
Tricked him
creepy,
into
too.
thinking all that he was
Dodson.
going insane.
What?
That girl's my fiancée. She's an actress.
Well, for...
That's a word.
Well, why did you tell him Higby was dead? No, maybe you better not explain. Psychology, huh? Well, what are we going to do with the confession now? We should have pinched him the moment he walked in here.
Behave. They know.
Maybe I'm lucky I never went to college.
There's no use you waiting here. They won't tell you anything. They're mine, all mine. I tell them what to say.
All right, get the wagon up
Can't say
here.
a word.
I'm not going to
Nothing at
walk
all.
this thing through the
Remember that.
streets.
I won't say a word.
Henry Wilson, it's the judgment of this court that you be sent to the Hillview Mental Home and be kept there in close confinement until such...
On the voice went. I had stopped listening to voices, all but the ones that I couldn't help hearing. But I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I tell people that, and they look at me queerly. The stupid fools. The guards here have spread the lies that I have fits. Lies. Lies, I tell you. They say every night when the moon comes up, I have fits. Loud, roaring fits. Well, they lie. Because it's then that I hear the voices. I hear Dodds and his wife and Toby and little Mary. And I sit quietly and I listen to them. Do you think I could have a fit in front of them? Do you now? No, I'd be ashamed. I tell you, I'm not crazy. And they lie when they tell you that they lie. All of them. They lie. And they're lies. 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 Lies.
And so closes Statement of Employee Henry Wilson, starring Gene Lockhart. Tonight's tale of suspense.
That was a fun episode. Good monologue.
This is the man in black who conveys to you Columbia's invitation to spend this half hour in suspense with us again next week, same time, when our two distinguished stars will be Margot and Philip Dorn. They will appear in a suspense play by John Dixon Carr entitled Cabin B 13. Producer and director of Suspense is William Spear, who with Lud Gluskin and Lucian Morowick, conductor and composer, and John Shaw, the author, collaborated on tonight's Suspense.
Suspense fans, please note that this program will shortly move to a different day of the week. Suspense will come to listeners in Eastern and Central time zones on Thursdays, beginning December 2nd, and to Mountain and Pacific time zone listeners on Mondays, beginning December the 6th. Now remember, Thursdays, beginning December the 2nd, in Eastern and Central time zones, and Mondays, beginning December 6th, in the Pacific and Mountain time zones for Suspense. This
All right. I think I'm going to end it here for the night. We have gotten to the second booklet of the build, so we are over halfway through now, for sure. Looks like we're working on the second floor, and then whatever is left on the outside of the little cottage. So should be fun. I really like how it's coming together. They did a really good job with this. Some of these builds are interesting, like the roof to this part. That's a neat way to do that. All right. Well, thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. I don't know what my next episode's going to be yet. You know, it's just kind of whatever I'm in the mood for. It'll either be more building or a game. I have some games I want to get back to, so it'll just depend on how I'm doing. But thank you, everyone, and have a good night. Goodbye.